we are now live.
We're live.
We are live.
Liam, you gotta make sure that you don't broadcast your political views now.
To the masses?
Oh wow, I love the image you use for the thumbnail. It's pretty cool. You don't broadcast your.
Oh, you gotta broadcast your. There you go. I heard myself.
I just heard myself. We're live. It works. It works. Even though 0 people are watching, it works.
Hey.
I can't believe no one's watching us in our stream.
No, we got no viewers.
Or maybe.
Alright, hold on. I found it again.
Okay,
Let me give it to you.
We just want to see what the peeps are saying.
At the Grand Nicole Hotel.
I was gonna say, like New Japan is such an anti-draw on my channel.
7 people are watching now. We've got 7 people watching.
Yeah.
Have a little peep at that link I sent you.
Okay, I will. Actually, I can't. All right. So, hello everyone. We are about to start a speed run, and we're going to talk about Wrestle Kingdom, New Japan Pro Wrestling.
Wrestle Kingdom 13.
Wrestle Kingdom 13.
You know.
And if you stick around to the end, Angus will give his exclusive thoughts on Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel, because I think
I will.
That's a good incentive to get the people to stick around. For it's not just going to be wrestling. I mean, it is going to just be wrestling. But then at the very end, hey, you're going to get some new content from your boys. Who I know we all know what you're here for, fellas.
I have really studied the Crash Team Nitro Fueled Racing Tag Team speedrun trailer, and I can tell you everything you missed in it, and I'll give you all my thoughts about it. 10
things that you may have missed, not clickbait.
Yeah, it won't be clickbait because you won't know that when I'm going to say it, because we're going to spend the first hour or so talking about Wrestle Kingdom in Tokyo Dome, and then we'll spend the next bit talking about Crash Team Racing. So
that's right.
Stick around for the whole thing.
All right. And, take a sip, enjoy the entire video. Let's go back to the point by pressing F3. Liam is also here. Liam Des, you may know of speedrunning fame.
I'm the famous speedrunner.
Yes, famous.
ISGP second place hero.
Yes. Wait, what? But yes, okay. Yeah, second place. Gee, how ugly is Nitro in this one? I mean, whatever his name is. Engine, Jesus.
He's got lovely red lips.
He doesn't even have anime eyes. Alright.
Do you want to give us the countdown, Liam, and we can start this speedrun slash...
Little bit of a countdown for you boys.
Alright, let me just...
Are you ready? Both players ready?
I'm just going to get the stream up on my phone just so I can see what the people are saying and cost myself, any good position. 20 people here.
20 people. Let's watch how quickly that turns down to...
But can I just say, I love the username, That Mouse from Bear in the Big Blue House.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. And yes, by the way, I am using my webcam microphone, so it's shit because I've been recording Spyro stuff, so yeah, sorry. Alright, you ready to start?
You guys can go. Are you ready?
Yep.
3, 2, 1, go.
I think I went a little before that. But...
Same.
Reset?
Yeah, who sped to Crash Code? Because I didn't. Me
too.
I just rode there.
Oh, you rode there?
Yeah, I didn't.
But anyway, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, strap in, because today CrystalFissure and Nintendogen64 and Liam Des are going to give their insightful opinions about Wrestle Kingdom 13 in Tokyo Dome, or should I say, Girls Band Party presents Wrestle Kingdom 13.
Yes, and much like the broken English that permeates throughout a lot of Japanese media that is sort of co-opted for English people, we are also going to say things like in Tokyo Dome, because even though it's in the Tokyo Dome, they say in Tokyo Dome. So we're very important.
I love it. I love that it's in Tokyo Dome.
Yeah,
I said to this Liam, is it at Tokyo Dome or is it in Tokyo Dome?
Who knows?
Because some people just say at Tokyo Dome. Anyway, Wrestle Kingdom 13, and we'll reiterate this for those of you who don't know, is the flagship event for New Japan Pro Wrestling. And every January 4th in the Tokyo Dome, they present like a big showcase featuring the biggest matches of the year, and culminating the biggest feuds of the year and all that kind of stuff. And the full card was announced today in a press conference. It's very low key the way that New Japan do this, I think. Yes. Where like it'll just be some random press conference that no one will care about watching. Just some guy sitting in a chair against a wall, no big fanfare or anything, and he just says, "Hey guys, this is the card for Wrestle Kingdom."
That's right.
We're going to run it down for you. And we're going to predict the outcomes of the matches.
Yes, we are. And we're going to talk about just the general... I think it's a good... I wouldn't say we'll do an entire New Japan year in review, but rather talk about some of the stuff from a Western perspective, because I know that obviously there's been a lot going down and New Japan has grown at an unprecedented rate this year. And I feel like we have people on all sides of the spectrum here. Angus and I's opinions, are fairly similar, I would say. But it's very interesting. There's a lot of stuff that's gone down this year to do with other promotions as well that is connected to New Japan. And I think that is the perfect time to get the card run down from now. So, what is the first match on the card?
Well, we'll start with they call it the 0th match. Because it's on the pre-show, and it's actually they're calling it a gauntlet match to determine the #1 contenders for the never open weight 6-man tag team championship, and the match for the titles will happen the following night at News Dash and Korakuen Hall, a show that we will be going to. Yes. And they haven't announced any of the teams yet, but I just want what do you boys think about the fact that we're not getting a Rumble this year? Because traditionally you would get the New Japan Rumble, and that'd be a fun little match. But I think this year
the Rumble is it's fun and everything, but a lot of the time it's like sort of a throwback thing, and you get legends and stuff like that. But here's the truth: is that in Angus and I's growing puroresu, which is basically pro wrestling in Japanese, in our puro fandom, and the amount of shows that we actually see this weekend, there aren't that many genuine surprises to me where I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy, like what an entrance, because we can actually go and see your Kento Miyaharas and your Fuchis and all your legends and stuff like that in other promotions. Like, so to me, it doesn't really matter, that there's no Rumble, basically. It's like a short story for that. Because, I only see plenty of other wrestling.
I like the tradition of the Rumble.
There is no real tradition for it. It's like
it's only been going for 3 years.
Yeah,
that's a little bit of a tradition.
By Japanese standards.
But I think it's a better excuse to have people come in a 6-man tag.
I agree, you do get people like the legendary Gino Gambino,
just throw my stomach.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, can I just put this down for the record? I predict a team of Robbie Eagles, Bad Luck Fale, and Gino Gambino for the gauntlet match.
Oh, do you? Okay.
I think that will be a team. That's my way early prediction. I do think we will get that team. Sure.
Cool. If it gets Robbie Eagles on the card, I'm happy. I met him a couple of weeks ago, guys.
It's basically Bad Luck Fale and his two friends. But let me tell you what I think about it, because I think it's actually a really cool change to have the gauntlet match be not for the titles, but just like a #1 contendership. Because I really hated that match just being on the card. It was a real time waster, and it didn't mean anything, and it was just there to cloudy up the
And
action.
the other thing is that the thing is, when you're doing spots for a Rumble, you've got to be really big, and it's all like, whatever the fuck. Right? With this, you're actually going to get like a wrestling match of people just doing crazy shit, because they know it's the opener, and they just want to sort of get it, you know what I mean? Like, it's, yeah, I think it's from a work rate perspective, we're going to get a better quality match. Put it that way.
Yeah, I think so. I hope we get some weird teams with like legends and stuff, and like some random teams. Like, I think because the match has to fill an hour time slot, right? It has to go from 4 o'clock to, I think it's like 5 is when the show starts. So it'll probably go for like 45 minutes of this match or something like that. So you'll probably get a lot of teams in there. So I think that should be pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I think a good move, because they're not gonna do a pointless tag team like. They normally do the 6-man title match at Road to Tokyo Dome, and they change the titles there, and it's like very predictable and everything. Like, I'm okay with this. Like, I don't expect Guerrillas of Destiny and Taiji Ishimori to pull double duty on the main card, so I don't know. If you guys had to predict, who do you think would win this match? If you just throw a random team.
I think that it's going to be a team that we've never heard of. Like, as in like, a combination that's just like, what the fuck is this? I can't even think who it would be.
I'm gonna go for the Chaos Boys here, because they haven't had the never open weight 6-man in a while.
So what, like you like Godo, basically?
Some Yano's on there. I don't know if it's on there. Just some weird boys,
So maybe Yano, Beretta, and Godo?
Maybe that'd be a strange team, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But I just think that the Chaos faction hasn't had that title for a long time.
Yeah, actually, I think it could be a Chaos thing, because Chaos and Bullet Club are feuding at the moment. maybe I was also thinking it might be like a team of like Hangman Page, Marty Scurll, and Chase or something like that.
Oh yeah, because they're not really on the they're not really on the cards.
And Hangman
that's
Page
definitely
is, and you think that like if Marty Scurll shows up at Wrestle Kingdom, like they're gonna give him something to do because Marty Scurll's weirdly over for some reason.
Yeah, he's the type of guy that he got over originally when I first saw him, as being like this guy making crazy matches with Ospreay and stuff, and he's like just completely. He's like the type of guy that just coasts on the charisma, and doesn't do anything. But when he actually turns it on, like he's excellent. So I would like.
His Sakura Genesis match against Will Ospreay was
unbelievable. Like Will Ospreay. I mean, and Marty Scurll is not a bad wrestler by any stretch, but I feel like, and this is a bit philosophical for the very first match that we discussed, but I feel like I'm gonna be a mark and put some of the blame on that on Cody, and like Jericho and the WWE guys, like less is more, like those fucking,
what did someone said, like know your value or something like that?
Yeah.
Like, I think there's a definite like permeation of that. We'll talk about that a bit later about the general stupor of the elite and that kind of thing. So I think like it could really get things off to a maybe awkward start if the elite team won the.
Oh god, people will be fucking furious. Yeah, and we'll talk about that a bit later. Let's move.
Walk out.
You can walk out just like you threatened to the last time.
Yeah. I'll actually walk out this time.
So interestingly enough, the first match on the card is going to be the Never Openweight match, which is going
to be the best match of the night. As the first.
Could be.
Someone said Sabre and Ishii, but we're going to be talking about. Oh yeah, I didn't even tell who's which. I'm the one that's playing as Coco, by the way. Whoops. Yep, that's me.
Yeah, I'm Engine. I'm playing as Engine. Yeah. Because I like Engine. But yeah, what we were saying though is the first match on the card is the Never Openweight title match, which is usually reserved for like later down, like usually the 6th or 7th match.
So I just want to shout out. So there's a guy on the New Japan Discord server and on Reddit, Flayblazer. He was not happy about this. He was very upset, and it was from and he used the excuse kind of the WWE, like that's such a WWE move. You have a title match open the card and stuff like that. But I mean, if you think about it, I mean they've had title match opens the card, with the junior titles and stuff like that.
And it's the fucking Never Openweight title. Like,
well, I think that's his problem. That's his problem, and I resonate with that. It's like the never feels like it's worth it. However,
no, I agree. But like, hear me out. I'm gonna be a devil's advocate here for this match being the opener, right? We have a lot of singles matches on this. We do. A lot of singles matches. We even have a match between Taiji Ishimori and Kushida later on the track. Okay, so. And we only have 2 tag team matches on this card to pad it out, right? Do you really want 6 or 7 singles matches in a row, right? And where Ospreay and Ibushi is like sandwiched in between them, or do you want to give them the hot opening match, right? And really let them like shine before any of the other matches have happened? Yeah, no, I agree.
I agree with that take because it's like. The problem is that if you don't want people to burn out, and I mean there's going to be high likely chance people are going to burn out because this card is phenomenal, from like a wrestling standpoint. And if they give, Will Ospreay and Kota Ibushi, like this is not, no offense to ACH, but this is not a inebriatedly like awkward Tiger the Tiger Mask or whatever versus Tiger the Dark at Wrestle Kingdom 11, right?
Yeah,
this is a guy, Will Ospreay, that is one of the hardest working wrestlers that you'll ever see. Like, he literally goes out to Gippsland in Victoria and puts on 4-star matches with their local guys, right? This guy goes
He goes out to some bumfuck,
He came
nowhere.
To Yatla.
Yeah, Yatla.
Yatla. Yeah. If you know where Yatla is, then yeah.
Yeah. Point is, he works so hard. Like, do you think that this guy is not going to be putting in a performance of his lifetime in the opening match? He is going to be. Their whole intent is going to be, let's have a match so good that people say that the best match on the card is the first one. And you know what? With people like those two, and I'm sure my brother would agree, he's a massive Kota Ibushi fan. Hey, I don't. It is actually extremely possible that it ends up being one of the best matches on the card. Seriously, I'm not even kidding. I'm not even kidding. Like, you think about the kind of dream match potential from these two guys. right? Like, it's just unreal. Like, they're made for each other. They're literally made for each other. Their necks are.
And let's not forget too. Like, what do you normally get as the opening match on Wrestle Kingdom? Do you normally get like a clusterfuck, junior heavyweight tag title? Like Liam and I were watching the Wrestle Kingdom 12 opener the other day. Remember that one, Liam? The one you stormed out almost during the middle of?
Yes, of course.
Yeah, watching that match.
Yes, this will be on the VOD. And if you're watching this on the VOD, hello to you, Nathan.
Yeah, hello to you. But Liam and I were watching it. It was pretty good, but I'm looking forward to. And okay, anyone who tells me that I'm an idiot for saying this, or I'm not a true wrestling fan, or I should watch 205 Live. I'm a sucker, and CrystalFissure is a sucker for spotty, flip kick matches.
Oh my god, fuck yes.
This is gonna be the flippiest, kickiest match you'll ever see.
Yep. I
hope.
And you know what? If you wanna be a purist and shit like that, you know what? Go enjoy your Tajiri versus Kotaro Suzuki, where Kotaro Suzuki is like having to bloody work like fucking 60,000 times harder than Tajiri and get like half as over because people are he's just like flopping. He's just like, he's just like coasting. You know what I mean? Like, nah, no thanks, family.
Also, let's not forget that we could have almost very easily had Goto versus Taichi number 3.
Yeah. Well, that would have been 5 stars.
Would you have preferred that?
I like Tai Chi, so I would have been fine seeing him.
Are you a man of Tai Chi?
I'm a man of Tai Chi.
Our Lord Emperor Tai Chi. Do you know, actually, CrystalFissure, I just want to point this out. This was also the first match you and I had predicted way back in October. About 2 months ago, you and I predicted.
Did we really? Nice.
Yes, but we predicted Ospreay would be going in as champion.
Oh.
You didn't predict the injury.
Oh, so who do we actually predict is going to win?
We didn't predict it. Like this is where we can predict the winners. I think it's going to be Ibushi retaining.
For me, it's Ibushi.
Yeah. I think he needs to retain it, especially if Omega wins and stuff like that, which we'll talk about later and stuff like that.
Yeah, and especially considering that the title's been so hot potatoed as of late.
And especially as well, adding on, is that it's someone different with the title for once, it feels, with the Never. Like, you can play with the Never title all you want,
but... This is the first title match without Hiroki Goto in it since, I think it was Michael Elgin versus Suzuki last year.
Yeah.
It's been over a year since there's been a title match without Goto involved. Which is about time. Anyway, the next match after that is going to be the 3-way match for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Championship. It's going to be the World Tag League, Junior World Tag League winners, Roppongi 3K, which is Sho and Yo, going against LIJ, which is Bushi and Shingo Takagi, and they're challenging for the titles for the reigning champions, which is Suzuki-gun's El Desperado and Yoshinobu Kanemaru.
That's correct.
Vegas. Kanemaru.
Kanemaru, yes.
Not Kanemaru.
Circle money.
I always have difficulty.
Gold circle.
What's his name?
Kanemaru. Gold circle.
Oh, alright.
Anyway.
What do you think, Liam, about this match?
I like it. I think I prefer the traditional 2-man tag team matches, but
Well, again, and this is something that I could say as well, that applies to a later match. We already had we've had this combination of match.
Yeah, and this is 3 times
already.
Yeah.
It's why I actually do not give 2 shits about this match. Can I just say, this is all my... People talking about, Juice Robinson versus Cody being their, match they don't care about. I don't care about this match that much, and also I can guarantee you it won't be that good either. It'll be maybe 3 stars or something. Because... El Desperado's fine. He's okay.
He's good. He just hasn't. He hasn't given that much of an opportunity, to be honest.
Kanemaru was good maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I think Bushi is pretty average. Sho and Yo are pretty good, and Shingo's very good. So as long as Shingo's in the ring against Sho and Yo, then it's going to be a fine match. But any other combination is going to be crap. And this won't be anything to write home about. I don't want to spend too much time talking about this match because
it's more important stuff. Really, dare I say, if it emulates the Westerners, right, from Wrestle Kingdom 9 to 11, it'll be great, right? Just go out there again, be a spot fest. You know what? Just own the fact that you're the juniors, because do it. Just do it. You know what I mean? Don't be having some forced epic.
This might be Shingo's last match as a junior as well. So.
Wow.
No, I don't think so. I think they're gonna win. I think LIJ's winning.
Oh right, okay. So he's gonna stay junior for a bit more.
I think so. I think
you don't think Hiromu will return in the new year?
I think he's a while away.
Oh, is that right?
Unfortunately,
I think
yeah.
it's probably at least another 3 or 4 months away.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Anyway, who do you boys have to win this match?
Showing you,
yeah.
I want to win. I love Roppongi 3K.
Revenge for last year.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true. It
Those
would be.
young fucks, am I right?
There we go. There we go.
Who do you
Yeah.
have, CrystalFissure?
I've also got Shingo, Takagi, and Bushi, and I think Shingo will be taking the pin. I'm sorry,
You mean
we'll be
scoring?
pinning someone. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not eating the pin. I think Kanemaru will eat the pin.
Eat 7.
Eat the 7. That's right. Why do we keep bringing that up? By the way, just as a little aside, about 7 or 8 years ago, CrystalFissure, Ratchet 5, and I got together and said there'll be a phrase, right, that we'll say now that we will always remember. For some reason, I don't know what the fuck that was about. And then we're like, remember this phrase, and the phrase was "eat the 7." And I don't understand why that keeps coming up. It's not,
Well, it's
it's
a
not-
prophecy. You fulfilled it. Congratulations.
Anyway, the next match on the card is going to be the the undisputed British Heavyweight Championship match. It's going to be
The second best match of the night, by the way.
the Oja.
This is exactly why the Never title isn't its first match, right? That's what I was trying to say. This is exactly why, because we are now getting to our second singles match on the card.
Yeah, which is the Oja, which is the champion, which is
Oja.
Tomohiro Ishii, versus Zen Oja, which is former champion, Zack Sabre Jr. for the Rev Pro British Undisputed Heavyweight Championship. Now, before we get into this, I just want to give a big shout out to our very own CrystalFissure, because you actually called it, saying that there would be a Rev Pro title match in some way on the show.
Hey, well, thank you, CrystalFissure.
I was very impressed by that. I actually went back and watched our previous stream in preparation for this one.
Very nice.
And you actually said, I think we thought that it would be Minoru Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. winning the World Tag League.
Yeah, that's right.
Titles.
Yeah.
Like a double defense against God. This has potential to be one of the best matches of the night or of the year.
Yeah.
Fuck. Zack Sabre Jr. and Ishii. Oh my god. What do you guys think of this?
I am, extremely excited. I'm glad to be right about that. Glad for Rev Pro. Could not be more happy for my man Andy Q. Deserves it, honestly. It's like an amazing thing. I mean, think about it. Like, Rev Pro is so much smaller than Ring of Honor in many ways, in terms of television and all that kind of stuff. But there it is up on a New Japan stage, and it's going to be, it's just amazing. Like, it's going to be a good match. Like, it's not just like, we're not just shoehorning in some guys and everything like that. Like, they are like the two of the top guys, in my eyes, personally.
In wrestling today, yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, everyone's
my brother is absolutely keen for this.
Oh yeah,
he's devastated he's not going, to be honest. Actually.
Oh, I'm devastated he's not going.
I am devastated for his sake. Yeah.
Like this is your brother's kind of card, I have to say.
Yeah.
At least one of our brothers will be there.
It's me. I'll be there.
Yeah.
I think Zack Sabre Jr. and Ishii are, as you said, two of the best wrestlers, and they're not easy wrestlers to enjoy. Well, I mean, when you start
especially
watching,
Sabre, yeah.
Like, I remember when Angus and I, we used to say that, Zack Sabre Jr., like, what's he doing? But then, once we knew, we understood his style more.
And Sabre's not a perfect wrestler. Like, I don't think Sabre's a perfect wrestler. I think that there are elements of him that I don't like as much as other wrestlers and stuff like that. But he is really good, and I hope he sells his ass off for Ishii.
I think it wasn't until he really got going with Taka Michinoku that I actually started adoring.
I think so
much.
Yeah.
I think he needed that bit of showmanship, that bit of
Agreed.
Yeah, that kind of that pairing has really done well, and I think too. I think Zack has really shown that he's more than just a technical guy. I remember, and this is back in the dark days when I was still a member of the WWE cult. Maybe we forget those days that it existed. But I remember Zack was in the Cruiserweight Classic and he was talking, I'm a technical guy. I'm a very technical wrestler. But like that. I mean, there are probably 100 guys on the indie circuit who say, I'm a technical guy, and then they bore you to tears with their matches. Whereas Zack's the kind of technical guy who can deliver a really engaging and entertaining match, right? It's just something he does differently to others, where it's like he really knows exactly when to do a move, how to do the move, how he intends to do it, and then obviously you've got to feed for the other guy as well, and he really because if you watch a lot of Zack Sabre Jr. matches, the thing you really watch for is him getting pummeled to death by the other guys, because a lot of it is him trying to like lock him up in submission holds and shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're really unique matches, and I'm really looking forward to this. As to who wins, I think Zack's going to go over.
Ooh,
I think
nice.
it'll be Zack as well.
I think that in terms of being history making, it would make sense, and also it would then give you Zack Sabre Jr. versus Pac in Rev Pro. Assuming that Andy Q is booking it, yeah, I probably would say that it's going to be Zack, but I would not be surprised if it was Ishii either. I feel like that's not unlikely.
Does the British guy get to book the outcome of this match?
That's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I'm sure that if Andy has his full say type stuff, I'm sure they do. I'm sure they're collaborating.
Yeah. Corroborating.
Yeah. Well, collaborating.
Well, I mean, I think Ring of Honor always book their own title matches.
Yeah,
but
I didn't even consider that actually.
I think the real cool thing about this match too is that it puts the Rev Pro title like on equal footing with like the Impact title and the Ring of Honor title and like the WCW title and the NWA Championship as all foreign promotions titles that have been featured at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah, and it makes Wrestle Kingdom feel more important, you know.
Maybe we'll get one of the CMLL titles defended there next year.
Lost.
Probably never.
Yeah.
So the next match
let's skip talking about this one. Let's go on.
No, now it's time to get into the meat and potatoes of this discussion, and we can talk about everyone's least favorite faction or team or best friends, the Elite, because we've got the heavyweight tag team title 3-way match, which is going to be Guerrillas of Destiny, who are the champions, facing off against the challengers Los Ingobernables de Japon's Evil and Sonata, the winners of the World Tag League, and the Young Bucks, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson. What the fuck?
What a joke! Honestly, who's booking this?
What is happening in this match? Can we have let's turn on the Elite in 3, 2, 1. Fuck the Elite! I hate the Elite! I hate everything that they've done. I've always hated them.
Good wrestlers.
Nick Jackson, Matt Jackson can go fuck themselves. They're detriments to the wrestling industry. I hate them. And fuck All In as well.
Now,
yeah.
Let's get to the point here.
How
long has the World Tag League been going on for, Andrew?
World Tag Young Lean.
World Tag Young Lean League.
I don't know.
5 weeks?
About 5 weeks.
Oh, how long has it been going this year? Oh, right.
Yeah, this year.
Yeah,
5 weeks. Now, so New Japan has been focusing on World Tag League in the lead up for Wrestle Kingdom for the last 5 weeks, right? Now, you wrestle, what, 16 matches in 5 weeks? Is that how it goes? 16 matches or so?
13 matches.
13 matches, right.
Yeah.
Team LIJ wrestles 13 matches, and they
wrestled 14 matches.
They wrestled 14 matches. They lost 2, I think, right?
And so did LA.
And Guerrillas of Destiny, right? So the past 5 weeks they've been working their butts off, right?
Yeah.
And now Young Bucks come in at the end of it and say, well, we deserve a spot at the titles too, and it completely undermines the past 5 weeks of New Japan.
Right.
Completely undermines everything they've done.
Right.
Why? Tell me. Yeah, tell me why, Andrew.
Because they're over. I mean, not massively over at that crowd.
Are they over?
They're over with the.
I have a very good counter to this too.
Audience. Yeah, me too. They're very over to the audience. Overall, especially international, they draw money. In terms of people are interested in them, people want to see them. Overall, especially Westerners.
It's kayfabe shattering. This is.
And also, my question is that do you want to see God versus LIJ again, just by itself?
Yeah, we were talking about this before. If you show LIJ versus God again, that's now 3 times in a row.
In 1 month, by the way, 3 times in 1 month.
Well, that can't be able. I would have written the story differently, and I wouldn't have included Young Bucks again.
Well, Liam and I were talking about like what other.
Hold on. Wait, someone in the chat's actually talking about this. WWE is a fantastic athlete. Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Sure.
But the WWE is WWE a detriment to the industry? Yes. We were joking about the All In stuff. But
anyway, what I was going to say before you rudely interrupted me with that pointless was that like Liam and I were trying to discuss like other alternative title matches we could have had, and to be honest, looking at it, I mean, you could have had LIJ retain for the entire year, and then they could have been champions for 365 days or something.
Yeah.
Right. Or you could just do Young Bucks versus God, Grills of Destiny. I just think that this is okay. I'm not pissed off about this match as much as most other people would.
No, I'm not
because
either.
I think it's the tag titles. It's Evil and Sonata have already held them. It's not like they've never held them before. Guerrillas of Destiny currently hold them. Young beat Los Ingobernables Day Upon. They lost to Guerrillas of Destiny, and then Guerrillas of Destiny lost to Los Ingobernables Day Upon. So you've got a nice little circle here going, right?
Yeah.
And I guess technically Young Bucks never got their rematch either, so you could also say that. So, I mean, there's enough going on here that I don't really like. It's not the same as like a Chris Jericho challenging Naito out of nowhere.
No, this just speaks to the Americanization of New Japan.
Yeah, and New Japan's always been the most American of every Japanese promotion. By the way, Tanahashi's literally like, as much as I hate to admit it, has literally been like, yeah, I'm pretty much inspired by American wrestlers. Like,
can I also, for those of you who are also pissed off about this too, there was a time, right, where the tag team title match at Wrestle Kingdom was, and I shit you not, this is an actual legitimate match that happened. Carl Anderson, Giant Bernard versus this team called Muscle Orchestra, which is this guy called Strongman, who's a CMLL wrestler, and Manabu Nakanishi versus Beer Money Inc. That was the title match.
Wow, Beer Money.
And that opened the show, by the way. That was I believe that was Wrestle Kingdom 7 or 8 or something.
Wow.
People, you need to learn your history. Like, this is not the first time this kind of shit has happened, and it's not like I wouldn't start like getting all upset about the it's Wrestle Kingdom's never going to
come. Slope for me. This is the slipperiest slope I've ever been on.
Also, can I also point out to you that in 2016, Wrestle Kingdom 11, right? Yano and Ishii were in the title match, despite the fact that they A, didn't compete in World Tag League, and B, weren't champions beforehand. So they didn't have any recourse for being in that match, except for the fact that Yano stole the titles. Do you remember this?
Yep. Literally stealing. What is that? That's like out of the WWE playbook, but we all loved it because it was Yano.
Andrew, how many matches did Young Bucks wrestle this year in New Japan?
I don't care.
Why are they being rewarded at Wrestle Kingdom?
They had a really good match against the Gold. I just cannot, like, I understand maybe where some people are mad, but I think this is a grave overreaction on some people's behalf.
My God, the people has just been like, people were calling for just their heads, basically. I mean, but have they made mistakes? Yeah, I think they have. I think that they have actually made a mistake with how they've been, their sort of the perception.
Oh fuck, I'm gonna lose to Puppy.
Uh-oh. Oh, nice, the clutch win there.
Yeah.
Look at that. Yeah, I beat Puppy.
Yes, I did it. I beat Puppy. Where are you, by the way? What are you up to?
I beat Puppy. I'm talking to him.
Oh, you just beat him? Oh wow, we're like neck and neck.
I'm like 10 seconds ahead or something.
Oh wow.
So what's the next match?
The next match. Oh wait, who do you think is gonna win this match? Because I think it's going.
I don't want to predict the winner.
I'm gonna say Los Ingobernables Day.
I don't want to acknowledge this match, so let's just move on.
I think LIJ as well, possibly. I don't think the Bucks are winning. In fact, they may even take the pin. The problem, people have with it is I think was what they actually said. When they got heat and they're like, oh, we got this heat for just wanting to see our families. It's like, but everyone else had to forgo family time. Like, and I think that's where people get upset because they're kind of using their kids to kind of. What are you doing?
I don't know where I'm going.
People are using their kids to be like, well, that's why we weren't there, And also previously they said they weren't getting paid enough to do it. So they've got to be careful with what they say, because the same fans that love them are the same fans that can very quickly turn on them. Trust me, that's what wrestling fans are. Probably the most fickle people in the entire world.
So just look at me.
Exactly. Just look at you.
Where am I going?
Where are you going? You have to go up to the.
I don't know. Not that way. No.
That's not it. You've lost.
You gotta get the key.
Okay. Anyway, so you think we both think LIJ because we are massive LIJ marks? Yeah.
I'm gonna walk out when this match is on, so I don't need to pick a prediction.
Make it your piss break match, because actually up next is the real piss break match, and you know why this is the piss break match?
Oh no!
I'll tell you why. And this is going to be something fascinating that I don't think anyone's mentioned except for myself right now because I literally just noticed this.
Go on.
All title matches have a 60-minute time limit except for this title match for some reason, which only has a 30-minute time limit. And it's Cody defending his IWGP US title match, a US title, against Juice Robinson.
Now, where's Cody been for the past like a month?
Yeah, so, yeah.
Okay, let's talk about this. And I think, in my opinion, and I've always said this, but I've never warmed to Cody as much as other people have.
I tried.
If
He had an excellent match this time last year against
Kazuchika. Yes, he did.
That was a great match. But
that was it.
But they never followed up on that with any other classic performances.
No.
In fact, what did he do this year?
He wrestled Omega.
Can you tell me?
Lost to Omega.
He did.
Was that good? I can't remember if that was good or not. If I can't remember, I guess it wasn't then. Right? That's
yeah, it was pretty mediocre. But also, he had if you remember, they had I would say a prototypical feud when he tried to take over the Bullet Club, which went nowhere, and then he ended up being friends. And then that led into, and this is why I think people are so sick of this Bullet Club shit, is because they've done this feud twice now. The Elite versus the Bullet Club.
Right.
Or like, the Bullet
even
Club
Juice vs Cody, that happened 2 years ago. Juice vs Cody.
Yeah, but this is a sort of out of nowhere match where they could have put any other match on this spot too.
Yeah. Also, props to Conley for correctly guessing this match too. I said it would be.
You guessed it.
Yeah, he guessed this before that anything was even announced. He had a tremendous amount of.
How'd you guess this? I wouldn't have guessed this.
I said it was going to be Beretta versus Cody.
Well, hold on, Juice Robinson, he held the US title this year.
Yeah, that's mainly why.
I
I just thought it because of that reason.
But I do like Juice Robinson, and I don't,
me too.
mind Cody.
I feel bad that unfortunately this is what he's gonna get. He's gonna get a match where Cody goes on the floor and does the little pickup move, and the problem is Cody's just as a New Japan worker, it's just terribly boring. As a WWE worker where he can reverse the crossroads, great, okay, cool, Seth Rollins, whatever. But as a New Japan worker, it's just dull. That's the only thing. And I wanted to warn him so bad. I really wanted to, so badly. You have no idea how much I've wanted to, just support all these guys. Because I still do like the Elite, And I do think there's a lot of people that are just going out of their way to just be completely vile about it. And, borderline.
Andrew,
yeah.
If I'm watching New Japan Wrestling, I'm here to watch New Japan Wrestling, not WWE Light, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Also, this match happened 2 years ago at Wrestle Kingdom.
I said that, yeah.
Did they?
Yeah,
Juice versus Cody at Wrestle Kingdom already.
Yeah, it was Cody's debut match. I remember seeing it live too, and that was not great.
Was it?
Maybe
it'll be better.
It was okay.
This match has got potential, but it's boring and meaningless, so...
It's not meaningless, it's for the US title, but...
Yeah.
And talking about this match, I think Cody's gonna win personally. I just see that happen.
Fuck.
And you know why? And it's gonna piss everyone off, and it's going to be part of their continual US expansion because they'll want Cody to main event the US shows that are coming up in February.
But fuck that.
I'm walking out. I'm jumping ship. I'm jumping ship to BDT.
Yeah, I don't know. But did you hear about this? They've got the New Beginning in
Charlotte.
North. Yeah, Charlotte. Yeah. So they're doing 2 New Beginning shows. One which I think is going to be like a Lionsgate kind of show, which is in the Globe Theatre, and then one which is like a proper New Beginning show, which is happening in Charlotte, in a 4,000 seat arena. And I think they'll be doing Cody versus someone for that one. Did you see what happened to me there?
Yeah, I did. And I think it will be the death of old New Japan as we know it, and into the American era of New Japan.
Well, we're still tying. Well, okay, let's just get to the end of the cards, then we can start doing all the philosophical discussions. But yeah, we'll talk about that later. Yeah.
But again, this match has 0 build to it, and it's just been announced, and I don't care.
They could have put. It doesn't matter. But move on. The point I was trying to make is they could have put any match here instead of US Championship.
Yeah, well, this is the piss break match, obviously.
You could have had. I don't have any examples. You could have put Minoru Suzuki here.
Yeah, well,
I don't know with what.
A notable omission from the card is Minoru Suzuki. Absolutely, I agree. But I think this will probably be okay. I don't think anyone will be talking about it the day after. I think Cody Rhodes will win this match. What do you guys think?
Chodes.
I want Juice to win, so I'll cheer for Juice.
Yeah,
Because he's a person who's.
I want Juice to win. I hope he wins. I don't know if he will win.
Yeah.
The next match is a really, really, really interesting match. One of the many potential candidates for match of the year, if not match of the night at least. It's the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship.
Yes.
As Kushida, the champion, defends
Traitor.
against Bone Soldier, Taiji Ishimori.
What a great match.
Yes.
Third best match of the evening.
I love it how Liam's been there. He knows. He's so confident. Very confident with his New Japan predictions. Very, very confident man.
I know what I like. Okay, I know what I like.
You do.
I like how ripped Bone Soldier is.
Oh man, that's
He
goals.
can make music on his abs.
That's goals. That is literally goals. Like a mechanic like Taiji Ishimori with the height.
You have to lose
Man.
a few centimeters.
Yeah.
I was hoping that would be the original Bone Soldier.
I want Bone Soldier to win actually.
I think Bone Soldier's winning this match too. I think Taiji Ishimori.
She just held it for a long time.
Yeah, I think Taiji will win the title. I'm just going to make a really bold prediction and say Taiji will hold it until Hiromu comes and takes it off.
Wow.
That's good. I'd like that.
And my reason for this is because I absolutely loved the Hiromu versus Taiji match. It was actually my second favorite match of 2018.
Wow.
So because of that, I think I would love it. Yeah, second favorite. I'm not even kidding you. It was my second favorite match of this year.
Omega Okada 4?
Yeah, just find that.
Wow.
Maybe eventually at some point we'll do a top 10 like countdown of our matches of the year. But if it's
I can't even. I don't even
fun.
even remember 10 matches, which is like I've watched a lot, but it's just like it's one of those things where like I've seen a lot of New Japan this year. I've watched like all the major shows, but sometimes I just forget, you know. Like I'm like I have to like scramble around.
Alzheimer's or something.
Oh yeah, no, I remember that was good. Yeah.
Okay, maybe I'll independently do it and no one will watch it. Okay,
Yeah.
That's good. Anyway, so I think this is also like a fairly, you know, this is more about the match than the feud itself, really. But I think what it spells though is very interesting.
Fine.
Well, it's not really a feud, is it? Like
Taiji
just got to cost Kushida at some kind of 8-man tag match with this.
Yeah, it was a fine feud.
When Japanese do it, it's okay, right? When Japanese people do it, it's okay.
Well, it wasn't
English people, you know, like
it wasn't a blown out over the top feud. They only really it wasn't really mentioned at all. Actually, it's kind of a subtle feud, I'd say.
Subtle.
All that happened was that Kushida was on a team that constantly got jobbed out to the Bullet Club OGs.
That's right.
Yeah. But also, I think this match, obviously, you don't really need much of a build to it, to be very honest. You've got basically the ace of Noah's junior division for like the last couple of years versus the ace of the New Japan Juniors division.
So,
Junior Heavyweight division.
Do you think this could be Kushida's last match? You heard about that?
Well, yeah, I don't know actually. I mean,
What's happening to Kushida? Is he retiring?
Yeah,
well,
he's heading into retirement home. People have speculated.
Off to the great.
I don't.
The great wrestling match with this guy.
Yeah.
I don't want it to, but at the same time, I wouldn't be devastated if it was.
The thing is, here's the thing, like, and I can't believe, like, because you're talking to the guy that thinks that WWE is the literal devil of the industry. It's like, what more can Kushida actually do as a junior? That's the problem. Like, I'm usually one of those people where I'm like, I hate it when people say that what more to do. Like, people are like, oh, what can he do? Well, there's plenty you can do. There's plenty of feuds, but you can't. But winning a title 6 times, like, fuck, what else is he actually realistically going to do?
Yeah, like, what's he going to do in Best of the Super Juniors this year? Like, who cares if he wins?
Put him in like a high quality tag match. Wasn't he? Who was he teaming with? Like, was it him and Rocky or something? I can't remember.
Alex Shelley?
No, in that dream match with Okada and
Oh yeah, Rocky.
It was him and Rocky. What's wrong with that? Because Rocky's already the manager of a team.
Yeah, but I mean, like, that's how he started out, though. He started out as a junior tag guy.
Oh, I see.
And then he graduated from junior tag to junior heavyweight, sort of like matches, and then that's where he's been for like the last 5 years. And I honestly like, okay, let's say they move him up to heavyweight and he joins the G1 Climax, whatever. You know he's not gonna make a run for the top of the board or anything. Like I don't think they would see him as that kind of guy.
But if that's the last thing,
Yoshihashi Jr.
I would rather see him do that than leave. Like, put it that way. I would rather see him in the G1 because I want to see Kushida versus all these guys. You know, even if he doesn't win, like I just.
To be honest, actually, there are a lot of potential cool matchups. Kushida versus Ibushi. Kushida versus Ishii. Kushida versus Ishii I mean, that happened at OTT, you know.
Oh wow, you actually knew. Good job.
I did know that. Kushida versus Evil. Kushida versus Sonata. Kushida versus...
Okada.
Yeah, Okada. Yeah, it's Kushida Shingo.
Kushida Tanahashi.
Oh, hold on. Shingo's a junior heavyweight, so that won't happen.
Yeah, actually, I wouldn't be upset if Kushida won and then fought against Shingo.
Yeah.
Actually, maybe I'm gonna change my pick to Kushida winning. Actually, let me do that. I'm gonna change it real quick. I think Kushida's gonna win.
Kushida over Ben.
Let's just go with that. Let's just say that to fuck up. I want to just be different from you guys. Yeah, Kushida's gonna win over Ben Soldier.
But then he can't move up to the heavyweight division.
Yeah, but he can versus Shingo.
Oh, I see. You want that? Ah. I guess Ben Soldier. Oh.
But that would require
that would
require Bushi to LIJ to lose the tag titles, because why would he then go as a tag title?
Okay. Let me renege that I changed it. I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with.
There's a left.
I'm gonna go with Bone Soldier. Bone Soldier wins. Bone Soldier
does win.
Okay. You think Bone Soldier's gonna win too, William?
Sorry?
You think Bone Soldier's gonna win as well?
Of course.
Okay. What do you think?
You can't beat him. He's too ripped.
You think Bone Soldier as well, Conley?
Yeah.
Wow. Everyone thinks Bone Soldier. How does everyone think Bone Soldier's gonna win?
What is the chat saying?
I honestly don't even think about my predictions who wins. I actually just completely turn my brain off when it comes to who I think will win.
You just like the quality of a match.
Yeah, I'm just like...
It is a 50-50 shot.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so I think Bone Soldier. Next match is going to be for it's no title. It's a special singles match, and it's going to be between your friend and mine, Jay White, versus the Rainmaker, Kazuchika Okada.
Match of the night. Oh, it's the fourth match of the night. I
think there's another one potential for match of the night candidate. I think this could be a real show stealer. And I don't think people are sleeping on this match. I'm not gonna go that far because I think people are hotly anticipating this one.
Yeah.
And I think it's really possibly the most compelling story of the entire card. Actually, I'm gonna say that.
Yeah, I agree.
The whole chaos stuff with chaos more integrating into the New Japan main force.
Yeah, that's right. Sekigun.
And Jay White's complete amazing turn as a heel this year. I think he deserves a very special mention for one of the most over guys on the roster so far. And by over, I mean over as a heel, which is very hard to do. New Japan don't get a lot of straight up heels because a lot of the time if you're a heel, people still like you because they appreciate how hard you're working.
Yeah, that's right.
But people hate Jay White for the right reasons, because when you talk about the whole people hate shitting on the Elite and the Elite are ruining wrestling, no one ever mentions Jay White as part of that problem.
Yeah.
Because he's not part of it. He isn't. That's right. He's not part of the problem.
He's a New Japan homegrown star. He was
a young lion.
He was a young lion, exactly.
And he didn't just come in and say, "Give me a shot at Wrestle Kingdom." He worked for 6 whatever years.
Well, he did actually come in and say that last year.
Okay, well,
he literally did come in and was "Give me a shot against the Ace."
That's right. Okay. No, I knew that. But what I'm saying is that I was trying to compare him to the Young Bucks this year.
Yeah, well, it's not like that. It's not like his
How'd you get an Uka in second place?
That's impressive, isn't it? And now I'm way ahead of him. But yeah, I actually think that Jay White will win this match.
I see. I would say Okada wins this match.
Well, I think the special singles matches are more to do with building. The winner of this match, I think, will be de facto #1 contender for the heavyweight title.
They want Jay White with the title.
No. I just think that because he's also been semi-feuding with Tanahashi during the same period as I think there's potential that he could just easily slide into a Tanahashi program right after this match.
Easily.
That's why I think that he's going to win the title.
So that leads into your final match.
Yeah, the final match. There's nothing else in the card. Let's keep it as that.
Well, it does, but I mean, it could be either. It could be Omega or Tanahashi. I don't know. He's got ample reason to feud with both of them.
I think that Okada might win because if they're going to give him the loss next year, they don't want to have him two Tokyo Dome losses in a row. I feel like that might be possible.
They did just give him the longest heavyweight title reign of all time.
Yeah, but they always Okada's just huge.
Also, people don't there's no guarantee that it's going to be Okada versus Naito in the main event next year.
No, I think a lot of people just instantly think that, and they're going to be very setting themselves up for disappointment when it doesn't actually happen.
But I mean, at least Naito's higher on the card this year than Okada.
Yeah.
Liam, who do you think?
Who's gonna win, Jay White or Okada?
Yeah.
I think Okada's gonna win.
So you two against one. You both think Okada, and I think you. Okay. Interesting. Very interesting. Now let's talk about Liam's favorite match of the night.
No, let's not talk about
the IWGP Intercontinental
Let's talk about this.
Championship.
We're not talking about this match, right?
Hmm?
We're not talking about this match at all.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's a Twin Peaks reference.
It is, yeah.
Anyway, it's the IWGP Intercontinental Champion Chris Jericho defending against Los Ingobernables leader Tetsuya.
Let me hear what CrystalFissure has to say first, and I'll give my sense.
About this?
Okay, CrystalFissure, what do you think?
Yeah. Chris Jericho, 2 years in a row, double main event, Wrestle Kingdom. Go.
Yeah. The thing is, my life isn't, the thing is, I absolutely adore wrestling and stuff like that, but I feel like my life isn't that negatively affected from, hating him so much like a lot of people are, kind of, you know what I mean? I just don't care in a way. I understand why people don't like him, I do, but I also don't give a shit as well. But then I also do. So I'm a complete walking paradox.
So you're not passionate for
what I'm saying is that I feel like a lot of people are using their hatred for him to co-opt it to something that it isn't. It's I don't agree. I don't think that Jericho's the greatest worker ever. Okay, he's not one of my favorite guys. I'm not like Angus. He's never been one of my favorite guys. I just think he's pretty cool, and that's good. I think he's had good matches in New Japan. I think that even people that aren't big fans of him have agreed that he's actually had good matches, right? The problem is that it's it's another match we've already seen type thing. That's what people get angry at. And the fact that he doesn't really promote New Japan, and there's kind of this new generation, and again, it's what was going to be discussed at the very end of the episode after the Crash stuff, is that it comes down to what is he using New Japan? And so you're of the opinion that yes, and I've slowly become close to that opinion.
What did I say last year?
But Liam, I'm still entertained by him. That's the difference, right?
Your brain is rotting. That's what's happening.
Yeah.
Wait, what about
I have to have a shower and go, so I'm gonna put in my opinion and I'll leave you guys.
Okay.
Put in your
now.
Put in your opinion.
Let's. I don't know if you can bring it. No one can probably bring it up. But let's not visually, but you can't. Let's bring up Chris Jericho responding to his fans on Instagram and kill themselves. Let's bring up Chris Jericho saying, yeah, I'll do this match only for $50,000.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Let's bring up these little points. All right. Chris Jericho is coming in here and just walking all over New Japan with his dirty boots on, and they're rolling over for him because they want the American audience. That's
I think that they're misguiding the American audience. I'll put it that way.
They gave Chris Jericho a squash match against Naito already this year. What a joke. Yeah, he already had a squash match against Naito. Did you forget it?
You think it's a squash, though?
No, he already had a squash match.
But did you think it was a squash?
Yeah, it was. Did you watch the same match?
He cheated.
You and I watched the same match then.
He cheated to win.
Chris Jericho had a halfway decent match this year against Evil. That was it. He had a Dave Meltzer 2-star match against Evil. That was his best match.
Dave Meltzer 4 stars.
Let's go all the way back
I'll let you speak to Dave about this, okay?
Let's go all the way back to Wrestle Kingdom 12 when it was Okada versus Chris Jericho, or double main event.
Okada?
Sorry, I mean.
That'll be Wrestle Kingdom. That'll be the main event next year, buddy.
Yeah, next year.
Chris Jericho versus Naito versus.
Chris Jericho gets his spot in Wrestle Kingdom, and he has a horrible match against Omega.
Omega worships Vince. I don't like that.
He carries Omega.
What?
Chris Jericho takes the worst bumps.
Wait, he carries Omega?
No, Omega carries the match, and Chris Jericho takes the worst bumps I've ever seen by a professional wrestler with his amount of days. He's got such experience. He's taking the worst bumps I've ever seen. It was a complete joke, and the writing was on the wall for New Japan, and they've gone down the wrong path by appealing to the lowest common denominator of fans.
Lowest common denominator. So you trying to say Americans?
Of course. What was it? Remember the guy we sat next to?
You know what? Do you know what? This is a guy that's never been to America in his life, right? You're speaking to people that have actually been to America, and you know America's actually a pretty cool place.
So you think that WWE fans are, or fans of WWE who only watch WWE? What do you think about those people?
I know. Yeah, Sterling Richards, like, you know, people that watch. I don't like people that watch New Japan and WWE. I do.
You're gonna. What Chris Jericho does is he gets the crowd of people who only watch WWE into New Japan, and then what? And then they say, "What's this? Oh, Chris Jericho, he puts on the best matches."
No one really says that though.
Don't they? I don't read.
I just think he puts on good matches.
You think Chris Jericho puts on good matches?
Yes.
Well, he hasn't put on a terrible match so far, has he?
He hasn't put on a terrible match.
I like them all.
Oh my god.
And Liam, we've seen a lot more Puro than you. Like you've been to BJW and BJW, right? And New Japan, isn't that it? Is that all you went to?
I saw one more.
Oh, that's Noah.
I don't want to be like
Noah.
I'm gonna play somewhat of a devil's advocate here because
go on then.
You know the guy Octopus Stretch? Have you ever seen him on YouTube?
No.
He's like a New Japan YouTuber. Shout out to him. He's very good. He just did like a video, like, you know, he does this series called Top 5 or 5 Count, I think it's called, where he like defends topics. Okay. And in the latest one, he defended the Jericho title reign.
What did he say?
And one of the things he said was when Jericho shows up to New Japan, he shows up and he actually, like, you know, puts in his all. He doesn't show up and just like half-ass it, right? If you watch Jericho's New Japan matches, they're actually very subtle psychology that goes on in them. They're not just haphazard matches that he just throws.
Chris Jericho gets so many rest spots in his matches. It's ridiculous.
He does not. Did you watch his match with Evil? There was not a single rest hold except when he had the Walls of Jericho on.
Walls of Jericho is a rest spot. Right?
But that's a wrestling move. It's a fundamental wrestling move, including done by young lions, right?
No, well, I haven't seen anyone else do the double Boston Crab. What's it called? Double.
What's wrong with that move?
It's a rest spot.
Yeah, the Walls of Jericho is a very well established finishing hold that he put many people away with it.
Jericho is smart in the fact that he does the least to do the most.
I actually don't think that's true, actually.
No,
is that what you said at the beginning of the...
How much does fucking Tai Chi do in the ring?
Yeah, exactly. And Jericho, in all of his matches so far, has taken table bumps. There's been blood involved, either by him or by another party. He's had basically hardcore match. If you know anything about wrestling, and especially Puro, as we were saying before, there is a precedent for what Jericho is doing, and his name is Stan Hansen.
Yes.
Or Bruiser Brody.
Yes.
There is definitely for this type of style of wrestling.
Or Dr. Death.
Or Dr. Death. Jericho
or
is
even the head executive vice president of talent relations, Johnny Ace.
Exactly.
Literally was in Champion Carnival, right?
Yeah.
Do you remember that? 1994 or something like that.
Yeah. I of course I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying,
you should check out the merch. It's awesome.
Jericho's matches in New Japan have been very reminiscent of that style. It's not been his... If you put a video of Jericho from WWE side by side with Jericho from New Japan, it's... Apart from like his signature moves, right? It's a completely different style.
I agree. That's why I've never been interested in that. Why do you think no one raved about Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho compared to like Chris Jericho versus Omega or something like that?
Honestly,
Omega's a bigger name than
true.
Well,
that's
to be honest,
an interesting perspective.
What about Evil though? Like, I mean, Evil's like a rather, you know, new star. He's been around for a few years, but he's not like anywhere near as experienced as Naito or Kenny.
Yeah, but right? Evil's over as well.
He is over, yes, but like I think that was definitely, in my opinion, his best match he's ever had in New Japan.
Oh, thank you very much, Tabriz. Tabriz with a £2 donation. Thank you. That's going straight to New Japan. That's going straight to New Japan.
It will.
No, it's going straight to a piece of Korakuen chicken. Thank you, Tabriz.
I was gonna say Tokyo Dome.
Tokyo Dome burger.
No, they're the fucking worst.
I have to go, but the last thing I will say is
fuck you.
That's what I'll say. I'll say I still agree with what I said last year, and that is, you can choose to book a match however you want it, but the fact that they're booking Chris Jericho just, you know, speaks to that going out and becoming more of a global institute than focusing on the quality of wrestling.
That's what I've been fine this year.
Now, do you think Naito's going to win this match, Liam?
You know what? Let Chris Jericho have it. Let Naito have another squashed year, and let's bring in all the American audiences. And that's
okay. And just quickly.
You know, and you'll be back next year buying another ticket.
No, so. That's it. This is my last Tokyo Dome, and I'll walk out on the match as well.
Before you go, who's winning the main event?
So hold on. So you're gonna walk out. You're gonna walk out before you even know it's good.
That's right.
What an asshole.
Main event. I think Tanahashi's gonna win it. Actually, that's how I think. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Interesting.
Excellent.
I don't know. I'll go. Thank you for
That's
the stream,
what
Tommy. I'll see you guys later.
Right, see ya.
TTY. I actually also have Jericho to win the retain the title at Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah. Oh, you've even retained.
I have him retaining, to be perfectly honest with you.
That is going to send
upset a
people.
lot.
That is going to send people into a seething wreck. This could do so much damage from like the geeky puro like audience. Holy shit!
I think Naito's losing again. I think Naito's history of losing at the Tokyo Dome is going to continue.
Holy shit!
I don't think Jericho's putting him over. I don't think it's happening. I think
Why? Why do you think he's putting him over?
If there wasn't a MSG show coming up only 3 months afterwards or whatever it was, I'd say.
Do you think that Naito's not a draw to the Madison Square Garden though? The thing is, the problem is they constantly underestimate the Japanese draws. Like that is actually a problem. I totally understand where Liam.
Yeah, that's why I think Jericho's winning, because Gator's like, we're going to America. Japanese like, the Americans like, whatever his name is, Chris Jericho.
Right.
Plus, I just think he's retaining. I don't know why. I just have this gut feeling that he's going to retain the title.
Yeah.
I could be horribly mistaken, but I do think he's going to. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Naito's going to win. I mean, just because it's just sort of an obvious send the crowd home happy thing. But you know what? Hey, I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah, it would be very interesting if he did win. I mean, I am going for Naito at this point, for sure.
I mean, I'm going for Naito, but I just think I just want to. I think I expect a. I don't know what to expect from this match really, because we haven't really had any build to it. We may get a Jericho appearance at the Royal.
My problem with whoever wins and stuff like that is that like the kind of people that discourse is going to be about this card. It's like a couple of results are going to determine whether people say it's a good show or a bad show, and that's what's really going to annoy me. Because if Kenny Omega wins, right, people are going to say this show was fucking shit. This show was terrible. It's like, well, no, it wasn't actually, buddy. You just hate everything to do with Kenny Omega, so of course you pick that. You know what I mean? So it's it's a bit annoying actually that like people are going to say this show sucks if either Naito loses or Tanahashi loses, and I don't agree with that at all.
Because as Liam says, I think Tanahashi's going to win as well, which is a very bold prediction. I think I might be 2 for 2 wrong in my main event picks, but I actually think we're going to get a Jericho retain and a Tanahashi win.
Yeah.
And what do you think about this?
Yeah, I think.
Tell me about the Tanahashi Omega match and how much people are worked into a seething shoot over the Tanahashi, over the Omega's appearances.
I tell you, they really are. So yeah, I think that we're going to get a win from Omega, mainly because it's a hope, not really a prediction. It's me just hoping he wins. I think that it's going to be. I think it'll be match of the night. Actually, now that I think about it, I think that they're just both going to. They see the competition in the card and they're just going to go mental. I think. I think that. I don't know. It's one of the. I don't know. It's. I mean. Why do you think that Tanahashi's going to win? Like, what's your? Is this tie into all the elite stuff? Like, what's?
Yeah, I have a very distinct feeling that like, not that they're done after this, but I think their appearances in New Japan are going to be diminished after this show.
Right.
With the possible exception of Cody, who I think may retain his title here, but then lose it at like a New Beginning show, which I think. Oh fuck! I just squandered a mask there. What did I do that for? Oh, that was a bad mistake.
I'm in Oxide Station, by the way.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're already racing Oxide?
Yeah. No, not racing Oxide. Oxide Station, like just the race.
Oh right, okay. So you're like a track ahead of me.
Yeah.
Have you done Hot Air Skyway?
Yeah.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah, you're like a lap. What lap are you on?
That too. Yeah, just started.
Okay. Well, yeah, you're quite a bit ahead of me. Anyway,
Chief.
Yeah. I didn't even. I've been playing very poorly, and I think I've lost on Hot Air Skyway.
Yeah, I tried to do that jump skip, and I fluked it like the second and third time.
You got it? Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I think Tanahashi's probably going to win, just because, I don't know, like, there's definitely some, as we say, where there's smoke, there's fire, and I think with All Elite Wrestling thing, there's definitely some kind of fire.
Yeah.
So.
But
Yeah,
why does that mean they're leaving New Japan?
Well, it means they're not leaving it, but they just have to like focus on All Elite Wrestling as their priority.
Right. Yeah.
And so I think, especially for the Young Bucks, they're not going to be flying over to Japan as regularly.
Yeah.
Like,
which sounds like they don't really want to do anyway.
Yeah, I get that feeling too. I get the feeling that they're sort of like done with. I mean, traveling sucks. Flying away sucks.
Especially Coach. Like apparently, I think what's his name? I don't know how Cody's just he's got like residential. I don't know if he's got like interest property. What's it called? Like investment property or something. But apparently, he flies like first class and shit, right? So for him, it's okay coming to Japan. Going coach to Japan from LAX, fuck, we've done that. We've literally done that the other way around, right? It sucks. It's horrible.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do it. Like, especially on top of the travel they already do. So I don't blame them, especially if they've got their kids and they want to spend more time with them. And again, I think this Jericho guy is getting in their heads a little bit by telling them, diversify. Don't just focus on wrestling. Focus on this. Focus on that.
Yeah,
and then they're like, hey, maybe there's a point to this. Maybe we've made our mark in New Japan. Like, do you think maybe they're considering, like, why are we still in New Japan? What do we got?
But do you know why? New Japan is New Japan, PWG, and Ring of Honor are the things that made them relevant, right? They're, like, good.
Yeah, true.
New Japan, like, I mean, this sounds like I'm kissing corporate ass, but it's like, to me, you just can't, like, this is okay. So let's wrap up our Wrestle Kingdom tour 13 predictions here. So I'm gonna say that Omega wins because I just want him to win, right? That's like the thing. I think that it's probably a 60-40 Tanahashi. I don't think it's like 75-25 type thing. I think it's a 60-40, but we'll see. I guess you think that Tanahashi's gonna win?
I'm just going to be different to you, and I'm going to think Tanahashi.
Okay, cool. All right, so that concludes our Wrestle Kingdom 13 explicit predictions. Now we sort of move on to talk about just the general landscape of it all. And I'll start off by, continuing that point. What is it that they seem to think that, like, I mean, here's the thing. Kenny Omega is made by going to New Japan. Kenny Omega does not get the same level of exposure. He does not get the same level of popularity, indie cred, whatever, if he wasn't in New Japan. And so I feel like if they're gonna tell New Japan to fuck off and barely do any New Japan and blah blah blah, I feel like it's incredibly risky to them, And it's like I feel like there's kind of some of the shine kind of falls off a little bit, especially when you do get the fans have started to turn on them. We have seen.
Oh, absolutely.
We have
seen it. Yeah, 100%. People complaining about Kenny doesn't defend his title enough. People complain about how the Young Bucks are getting this shot at the tag team titles. People complain about Cody. People complain about all this. The only guy they don't complain about is Hangman Page, believe it or not.
Yeah. You know why? Because he's not in anything prominent.
Probably because he does World Tag League as well, and
yeah.
People seem to appreciate that.
That's true. That's a good point. But as we were saying, the thing is that it's, I don't know, I understand where people are coming from 100%. I actually do understand it. I do think that I think that there's an element of them. Yeah, they think they don't need New Japan anymore. And you see tweets from Cody saying, "Oh, the wrestling industry's never had more fucking idiots running the promotions and never had more." I'm like, get fucked. New Japan has given you guys everything. Let's be honest here. That's seriously. So I can understand where some of the resentment comes from, because it's like Cody's saying shit
another
like
promotion
that.
where you're gonna get to perform in front of this man. Oh fuck! How did that happen? How did that actually happen? I just lost again by the most bullshit of reasons.
Oh my goodness me.
But anyway, yeah. I mean, there's no other promotion unless they go to WWE that they're gonna get this kind of exposure in. I'm sorry, but it's just true.
Yeah,
it's just true. New Japan's the number 2 promotion in the world.
Yeah.
But this Jericho guy, I still come back to him. I think him spending time with these guys is poisoning their minds.
Yeah.
As Liam says, and I'm sick of this rhetoric about how WWE is the biggest one, and you can't even make a dent in them. So
yeah,
New Japan's not really competition to WWE.
Yeah, I that's where I get. Liam's taken that to the point where he's I hate him as a wrestler as well. Where it's I don't, but I think I kind of hate him as a person, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he's a shitty person too. I don't think he's.
Yeah.
I mean, this is without even meeting the guy, so like I can't really.
We know enough. We know enough.
Yeah, just from anecdotes, and like I think, even though like 2018 he's been like not that prominent in, like he hasn't been around a lot. His appearances have been sporadic at best. I think his shadow has been cast over New Japan very strongly this year.
Yeah.
Shadow of Chris Jericho, and well, what I mean by that is like his return, right, is basically, or his New Japan run has been the metaphorical embodiment of what everyone is complaining about right now, whether they know it or not. Okay, let me explain. He comes in November 5th, 2017, whatever day it was. Power Struggle last year. Shocks the world. Oh my god, this is the best thing ever, right? People are really hyped for his match with Kenny. He wins. Yeah. Freaking. He beats Kenny. Oh, he faces Kenny. Really good match. Everyone loves it. Everyone says it's the best match of the night. Following night, he comes up and attacks Naito. Oh, cool. He's going to attack Naito. Great. Cool. Sticking around. He's going to have a Naito match.
Yeah.
Okay. February comes. No Jericho.
Yeah.
March comes. No Jericho. April comes.
Yeah.
Oh, where's Jericho? Where's our Naito feud? Finally, in May, he shows up again, and everyone's like, "Oh, cool, Jericho's back! Oh, he's back! He's doing the same thing, but it's so cool. Jericho's back. He's doing the same thing against Naito. Oh, it's a very good match. Jericho, he won. It's really interesting, wasn't it?
Shut the fuck up, Alice, you bitch. She goes, wrestling sucks.
Anyway, and then people were like, "Oh, it's the same thing, but cool, he won. Okay, cool. Jericho's got a title defense.
Yeah.
No Jericho in the G1. Okay, well, I didn't expect him to be in G1. No Jericho in Destruction or anything like that. Finally shows up at King of Pro Wrestling. Oh, it's the same thing again. Oh, okay.
Yeah. He does the same attacking.
Like, Evil. Cool, he had a great match against Evil, and now Naito's challenging. Okay. I don't really care anymore. And that's the story of Jericho in New Japan.
Yeah. Yep.
Until I'm proved otherwise. And Jericho will spin it as much as he fucking likes. Well, we did great numbers for it and everything. Okay, sure, but it's like not that, and it's a creative freedom for him. Look how much fun he's. Okay, right. He shows up every time. He beats up the guy he's gonna face, and then he cuts a funny promo in the back where he hits people up. Okay, wow, real clever guy. Well done.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I think the time for excuses is very slowly running out, and Liam is right in a certain sense.
Yeah.
I think the sheen, shall we say, is coming off, and that's why his match against Naito has to be something really, really special, I think.
Yeah, it does. 100% does have to. This will be his 4th match.
Otherwise, Naito is getting. Like Jericho retaining would be okay if it's something special.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, people won't see it that way if he retains, no matter what. But yeah, I do agree with that. I do agree. I think. Yeah, the problem is that, and like the thing is, his mentality is that, New Japan will never compete, so he doesn't put the effort that he should into promoting it and stuff like that, like, I mean, the Jericho Cruise, he promotes the fuck out of that. He's been the IC title, he's done nothing with it, like in terms of like promoting it, he should be going everywhere he does with it, talking about it,
Right, he said he'd shit with it, he'd sleep with it, he'd buy him a ticket on the plane. He's done nothing so far with it, except for like he showed up.
And that's what they said. And see, the New Japan management, the Japanese people, they fall for it. That's the thing. Like they fall. I think they fall for it, unfortunately. Yeah.
So now that Jericho's done with Fozzy for a bit, I think he's Fozzy. Like he was touring with Fozzy a lot.
Yeah.
I think he's done. Hopefully he's done with him. I don't know, but maybe finally he can actually Japan. The big argument people keep making is that Japan is really dedicated. He really puts in effort. Yeah, his matches have been pretty good. I mean, I'm not going to deny that.
Yeah.
But if he's going to do it, he really needs to commit. Otherwise, he's just taking a spot off on the roster.
But when you say commit, do you mean tours, or do you mean multiple? Like 7 shows?
The more you see him, the more exposure he gets, the less special it gets, and the less special it gets, the more recurring it gets in terms of like the same. The less people care, and the less buyers people additionally get because of it.
Yeah.
So that's where he really needs to step it up, and I don't think he will.
Well, yeah, because I think that the thing is, they'll fall for it because they do with WWE, they get over it, pretty quickly. Every time it gets quicker and quicker, doesn't it? You know, with like sort of like
yeah.
oh,
But I'm excited for his match at Wrestle Kingdom though, because this is just what I'm saying is the fact, right? It comes from the mind, from the heart. I'm actually really looking forward to seeing him because I'm a mark and I like Chris Jericho as a wrestler.
Yeah.
But as a person, I can see it the other way. So I don't know.
People like him and Jim Ross are like, you know, like the embodiment of like. It's like, why did it have to be them? You know, that kind of, you know, in a way, like it's like I like him, I like Jericho, like as a wrestler and stuff like that. But why did it have to be them? That's kind of the way I look at it. Whereas, like, can you imagine some of the other kind of guys that could have left?
I still think it's very cool that it's in New Japan, and I don't think that'll ever get old. It's not old yet. I'll say that.
Yeah.
The fact is, in New Japan isn't old yet, for me at least. And I still think it's very cool that his name's associated with it and all that kind of stuff. But
I wish he just did more for it. That's the thing. I just wish he did more for it.
Yeah, that's me too. I wish he'd be more prominent, but he's not.
Yeah.
More prominent in a good way, not in a like, you know, show up and squash guys way. More prominent as in, if he's going to be on the road, talk about it more, promote it more.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's sort of where I stand.
Yeah.
As for Kenny and the Bucks, people turning on them, it sort of feeds into the Jericho thing. They've had a very tight association with him over the last 12 months.
Yeah.
I think. And it reminds me very much of like a sort of NWO thing where it's like, let's you know, we're all buddies here.
You know what it also ties into as well? It ties into the I just beat Oxide by the way. It ties into what's the show? Bloody, what is it? No, not Being the Elite, which I've enjoyed all year, to be honest. It ties into something I've completely forgot about, but yeah, that's right, the BCOGs, the Bullet Club storyline. That's what it ties into. I think people resent the fact that they completely no-sold the feud by just going, we're not Bullet Club anymore, you know? Yeah. And that was wrong. I understand where Waylon's coming from.
Hot finish.
That was a disgrace that they just completely forgot about the fucking thing. I think that's deplorable actually. We just let's go on Chris Jericho's cruise and just dissolve the faction on a cruise that 800 people get to be on. You serious?
Well, the other thing too that might Mr. Lariato, he's a guy on.
I saw that. Yeah.
It was very good post today about like New Japan's like 2018 has been like a perceived great year in terms of in-ring quality, but a mixed bag in terms of storytelling. And I agree too. I think that the problem I find, right, is that the Golden Lovers reuniting back in March was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Arguably one of the most memorable moments.
We loved it.
But they didn't really follow up on it very well because how many times have they tagged together this year, really?
Yeah.
Right? And has Kenny's focus been on being part of the Golden Lovers? Like, what's Kenny's direction been this year?
Kenny has very little direction.
Since winning the title at Dominion, he has feuded against Cody, Ibushi with Cody, and then Ishii.
Yeah.
3 times, right?
So it's Cody. And that's what it's the problem, isn't it?
And none of those matches felt like they were leading to anything bigger. They were all very predictable. And I think Mr. Lariato is right where he says, for the first time in a long time, there's a distinct feeling that like you don't think New Japan has a long-term plan at the moment. Or you can't obviously see that they're planning long-term, which is what people always criticize the WWE for, is for the short-term booking crap.
Yeah.
Right? So, I say to you this. Do you agree with him, or do you think that New Japan has carefully laid this whole thing out to be like this? From the start?
I would have...
Because what's worse, right? What's worse, an uncompelling storyline, or the fact that New Japan have been coerced into telling an uncompelling storyline?
But coerced by people like Cody and stuff like that, basically. Haven't they? Think about it. They have. They've been coerced by people like Cody, because it's like Cody's like, hey, give me a title match. And then it actually has no purpose. So that's really bad. That's a terrible thing, and I want that to not be the case. Unfortunately, I feel like he does have a point. The difference is, I don't care enough in terms of like my enjoyment of wrestling. I just enjoy it. So it's like, which sounds like such a WWE thing to say, but it's like if that's the case, my beef is with Cody and stuff like that, but overall I still enjoyed the year of wrestling. Do you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, me too.
But I'm also, I'm not delusional where I'm like, everything's great, like a Cody Collier type or something like that. It's like, I believe that, absolutely. I think they absolutely have a point. I don't agree with all of it, but I do think they have a point. Yes.
Yeah, no, I think...
what do you reckon?
Well, I mean, my opinion is that, I've... And this is going to sound really bad, and you're going to probably... Your heart's going to break when you hear this from me. But, like, I don't feel like I've had a connection with Kenny as champion. I haven't felt anything. In fact, I'll tell you this much. I felt very... I have this... And fans of Twin Peaks will understand this feeling very well with Okada lately. He's become the Dougie Jones of New Japan.
Jesus.
Aimlessly wandering around without his place in the world.
Yeah.
And he feels like he's lost something. He feels like the old Okada's gone, and I feel like this is all at the detriment to the Bullet Club. And Kenny Omega. And that whole thing.
It doesn't break my heart because I've wanted to defend.
And I can't feel like something's missing.
I've wanted to defend Kenny, and I still love Kenny, and I don't think that Kenny's like a slightly disappointing reign is his fault either. That's the thing. I mean, is he booking against Cody? No, at the end of the day. He's not actually booking it. The problem with the reign is that he had 2 Cody defenses, as simple as that. No one would say it's a shit reign. No, only complete idiots would say it's a shit reign if, let's say, he got fucking Ibushi at Cow Palace and, I don't know, Zack Sabre Jr. at King of Pro Wrestling. Let's just throw those names out there, right? Who would be saying that's a shit reign? Who would be? Name him. Oh, okay.
Manabu Nakanishi.
Right, Manabu would be saying that, would he? Manabu would be saying that's a bad reign. He'd be like, Kenny, son, that's a shit reign.
He'd probably say it. I don't know. Okay. But I think this whole thing, I don't know what is like, because Kenny doesn't show up that much and whatever. You've got Tanahashi feuding against Jay White for some reason. You got Okada constantly losing to Jay White. You got all this stuff going on. But I just feel like the pieces are there, but they're just not being assembled correctly. And because of that, I have this real weird disconnect feeling from New Japan lately. That I'm hoping will go away when Wrestle Kingdom. I hope when we get to Japan, I'll be really thoroughly excited. Wrestle Kingdom season will have me. Like the fever, I'll get the fever. We'll go to all these other shows and stuff, and I'll be.
That's the thing. To me, if Wrestle Kingdom sucks, I'm not actually that upset because I don't think it's going to suck, and if it does suck, it's terrible. But we've got so much other stuff we're seeing that it's like it's okay, basically. Put it that way.
Yeah, no, you're right, but I just
But you want it to be
this,
good.
Disconnect with New Japan this year. The second half of this year, I'll say.
Yeah.
It's just G1 was great. Everything post G1 has felt kind of off.
Yeah.
It's like we've entered a bizarre world where Kenny's title reign has been not the focus. It's not been as... Maybe that's the problem. Maybe it hasn't felt as significant as when Okada was champion.
Yeah. It just comes down to the way that they booked the latter half of the year, though, because Okada only had one defense between his first win, his Dominion win, and Naomichi Marufuji, right?
Yeah.
That's the problem in a way. Is that basically
too many title defenses?
No. It's the fact that they book the G1 in the middle of the year, and then they just sort of coast to the end of the year. And they've done that forever. They've done that literally forever. Like I've been reading. I need you to do this because it's fascinating. I've been reading 2008 era observers and reading about Noah and all those promotions and stuff. And it's really, really cool to read about how the business was struggling and shit. But you see similar stuff in those issues than you do now. Wrestling is so much the same all the time. That's one thing.
Remember that excerpt from PWI where it was that guy talking about how the people have been brought in from AWA to the WWE and they're being WWF and they're being misused or something.
Oh, it's just heartbreaking. It's just heartbreaking to see that because it's people don't believe that idiots. I think my problem is there hasn't been a really the Tanahashi Kenny match will be better because of the match, right? Yeah.
The storyline hasn't been anything to write home about, and the thing with New Japan though, it's not about the storyline so much as it is about the matches. But I just don't think we've had that. I'll tell you what it is. It's too many things happening simultaneously.
You think too many, right?
There's nothing to like latch yourself and anchor yourself to. This is all coming at the expense, by the way, of the Naito story, which has been he has basically this year, 2018, been relegated to Stardust Genius Naito status on the card. If you know what I mean.
Yep, I do.
Where it's like he is in the top guys, but he doesn't really interact with the real top guys, and sort of just floats around the periphery without much to do.
Why? Why do you think that's happened?
I just think it's a change in focus of the company with this whole Kenny stuff. Because I think if you really look at the landscape of New Japan, right? Noticed right before Kenny took off as the G1 winner in 2016.
Yeah.
That was when he was probably at his peak, right? Around the Invasion Attack 2016 period. And again, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Zack Ryder situation, where like they'll give him his moment, but like it's not part of their grand plan. And I think, I don't think they created Los Ingobernables Naito. I mean, they didn't create Los Ingobernables Naito, so they don't feel responsible. Yeah, exactly. So they don't really feel that responsible for his success.
Which is a shame because they make millions of dollars off of the merch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I just think. And you got a lot of butthurt people as well who are crying about like the fact that Naito is now, it looks like if he does get another shot at the IWGP title, it could be years away, or maybe he won't. People think they've abandoned his story in favor of Kenny, and honestly, it does appear that way. And people haven't been given much in a sense that they could really argue that isn't the case. Because what's his story with Jericho? Like, what is that about? Like, what? Tell me the storyline of Naito and Jericho.
He beat Evil, so he came out and attacked him. That's the story.
That's genius. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with the thing? New Japan's really excels at is character, story development, and long-term booking. With Jericho, I think with Jericho constantly coming in and fluttering out. Right, they've had to just give Naito ooh before he faces Jericho at the day.
Yeah.
Right, that's what it is, and you can't book that way. You can't book with just I'll give this guy something to do. It doesn't work. You don't feel as connected to the guy because you don't have enough time to tell any compelling story. So you just have a bunch of meaningless feuds in between him having his two big matches, right?
Yeah.
Look at he finished 4th in the G1 this year.
Who was third? Oh yeah, Zack. Who was second?
You know who else finished 4th in the G1? Stardust Genius Naito.
Really?
Yeah.
Classic.
Just how AJ Styles came in and Stardust Genius Naito jobbed to him, the same thing is going to happen.
Wait, didn't AJ beat Naito, did he?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I just beat Oxide too.
Cool.
Yeah. But anyway, I think, do you agree with what I'm saying?
I do. I mean, I just feel bad blaming Kenny because I just don't think that it's explicitly his fault. That's.
No, I just think it's the scenario. I think it's the climate we're in now. I think it's the way that the story is developed. People preferred Kenny when he was an underdog. Now when he's the favorite, or like now that he's the man, people don't want to root for him anymore.
Yeah, and it's the Daniel Bryan problem. It's the every fucking, and it's a problem with wrestling. Like, it's actually why wrestling itself is kind of fucked in many ways if you really think about it, because people are just so stupid. I think. I mean, that's the only. I mean, I know that sounds very snobby, but it's like wrestling fans, like they're constantly looking, like I do believe that a lot of wrestling fans are just looking to be miserable the whole time. And I'm not saying about this Kenny Omega situation. I'm just saying in general. It's like, yeah, when someone they like wins, all of a sudden it's like, well, actually, I don't like him anymore. I want the new toy. Like that's wrestling feels so much like that. That's why it's so good to just
like Toy Story
casually. Yeah, that's why it's so good to casually watch these other promotions and follow them, because like if you don't like what's going on in New Japan, you know what? At least you can just watch like All Japan or something like that. You can watch Noah, and just have like good fun with that. That's the one good thing I'd say about being about like what we do is that we go over there, we see all this wrestling. It's like if Wrestle Kingdom sucks, yeah, okay, that sucks, but it's like at least we've got like another 10 other shows to enjoy.
I just really think that a misstep from New Japan at this point in time is still bad for the whole climate of wrestling. Because again,
yeah, WWE just
right?
sweeping up everyone else.
You
like
have people New Japan. Oh dear, New Japan isn't the oasis I was promised.
Yeah.
I'll just go back to WWE.
Yeah.
That's what happens. It's the same problem as like PWG, I guess, and they'll find a thing to complain about anything. I complain about New Japan. You and I have been complaining about New Japan for years.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
But we still enjoy it. But there are people...
Yeah, but I think our complaints are valid complaints, though, and like legitimate complaints.
Yeah, that's true. But the problem is as well is that, like, you know, people will use any excuse. Like, there'll be like one booking decision, that's it, I'm never supporting the company again. Right? WWE can fuck up for 17 million years and they'll keep coming back. It's like yeah, like every other promotion is put on such a higher, like, I don't know, like such a higher pedestal of what they need to do to succeed. You know, like you know what I mean? Like if New Japan fucks up.
Watch everyone talk about how great Kenny and Tanahashi is. Watch it. I guarantee Kenny vs Tanahashi will be another amazing clinic of a match.
Yeah.
And people will come in droves saying how great it is. And then New Japan will be off to that. That's what happens, right? They have a hot Wrestle Kingdom, and then the first half of the year is great.
Yeah.
Fucking World Tag League is always a lull time for New Japan. It's always a lull time.
It is. And that's the problem, isn't it? Is that like it's like maybe they need to fundamentally change the way they structure the year.
People are really annoyed because it's such a lull time, but it's also such a pointless lull time because the Bucks are. Yeah, that's people feel like they've wasted their time, right?
Yeah. Which they have. Who the
They
fuck
have,
watches?
exactly,
Who the fuck watches all of the World Tag League? Let's be honest.
I didn't.
Yeah. You should not do
Which is
that.
a change for me. Normally I watch all of New Japan's output, but like I didn't watch most of World Tag League.
So, I guess, you know, when it comes to structuring the year, maybe they need to structure the year slightly different. You know, maybe.
Do you think maybe it's like the fact that they've been structuring their year as a self-contained bubble, right? Like New Japan has never really looked at themselves as being like a global company until now.
Yeah.
So do you think maybe, considering that they've got eyes from people all around the world who are used to their wrestling a certain way or used to pacing a certain way, that New Japan has to reconsider their structure?
Yeah, I do.
Well, and how would you restructure it? Would you make G1 Climax at the end of the year?
No, you just couldn't. You couldn't do that. You could not do that. I mean, could you?
So where would you put New?
That's the thing. I don't know. It's like maybe the end of the year. Maybe Best of Super Juniors needs to be restructured.
Best of Super Juniors is going to save New Japan. Okay.
Well, putting it at the end of the year or something like that. You know,
Yeah.
put the tag league somewhere
World Tag
else.
League
Make
is
the
such a
tag league
terrible
more
idea.
important. Make the tag league smaller but more important. You know, 14 matches. Are you kidding me? Who the fuck is going to watch that? You know, like you know, Jesus Christ, like that was fucked.
I crunched the numbers. That's 91 matches, I think, or 96 matches in total.
Jesus.
That's
Yeah.
basically the same amount as the G1 Climax, I think.
Yeah, that's too much. It's too much.
Fuck. Who's watching that much? Like, I mean, you talk about WWE putting a lot of wrestling out. Like, that's a lot of wrestling.
Yeah, that is. Oh, totally. And so yeah, so you know, I don't know if, yeah, it's like maybe switching Best of Super Juniors around with the World Tag League. I mean, you think about it, you say, oh, but what could possibly save it? It's like, it can't be World Tag League at the end of the year. That's the first thing. That's it. That's the first thing. Do not have it at the end of the year. Step 1. Step 2, book more outside talent. Give people a reason to tune in because it's like, oh, look at that, I've never seen that before. Give them their shiny new toy that everyone clamors for, because we all love a good shiny new toy. We all want a Buzz Lightyear, you know, and Shuji Ishikawa can be that Buzz Lightyear. You know, like.
Yeah, maybe you'd I'm just trying to think. Maybe take all the non-normal teams out of World Tag League and only reserve it for teams that are consistently teamed. Like I said, these thrown together teams. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay. Yeah. Like kind of. Did you see the thing where Pac won the title? Pac beat. Yeah.
I didn't see the match. No, but
Oh,
I
it was
knew he
really
won.
fucking good. It was fucking great. But Anyway,
Yeah.
there's this whole thing after. They did this thing yearly called Doi darts, right? Yeah, Naruki Doi. You know that? Naruki Doi, right? You know the wrestler Naruki Doi?
Yeah. I've heard of it. Yeah,
You've seen him live. You know, he's the one, this sort of smaller guy. He's like maximum. Ben K betrayed him. Remember? Ben K betrayed him at the Dragon Gate show. Hello? Oh, his internet's fucked it, hasn't it? There you go. Are you there?
Well, that's weird. I was just booted from Discord.
Okay, cool. That's the word, not cool.
I don't know what happened. It literally just booted me from Discord.
I can still see your screen, which is good, hopefully. But yeah, I can still see it. So you know Naruki Doi, right, from Dragon Gate, right? The guy that
I know Naruki.
Yeah, maximum, whatever. So he has this thing called Doi darts, and they bring out these kids, and they like throw darts on a fucking like pinboard, and whoever like is in that, whoever's like selected, that's the match. So it's like these completely randomized matches, and it's fucking a great idea. Oh. What a great idea! You just get randomized.
So you think they should do that instead of World Tag?
Well, think about it, right? How like one of the things about New Japan that the factions, right? People get annoyed by that, but it's like the sort of the structure of it. Imagine seeing different teams from different factions actually be in the same team. Like that'd be amazing. Like
well, I mean, there was a concept that WCW did called Battle Ball. Have you heard of this before?
No, I haven't. Sounds great.
Yeah, so what happened was they randomly put these teams together from like different heel face affiliations, the breakup tag teams. They put absolute random teams together, and they do like a single elimination tournament with these weird teams.
Yeah.
And then the winning team gets a shot at the tag titles.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so I mean that's an interesting concept that they might try out. I don't know, just shake it up a little bit. Stop doing the same bullshit.
CTR. Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, exactly. No, exactly right. Like, just do something else because like clearly what's happening.
Or how about you just only put in like maybe fewer teams, but only put in teams who could conceivably win World Tag League instead of like teams have absolutely no shot.
Yeah, it's like when you do that bullshit. Yeah, it's like when you do that bullshit and they lose every match. It's like, well, what was the point? Like bring in the young lions, either make them do well or just stop doing it. Because I think it's just
restructure it to a single elimination tournament. I don't know. I think it's just they have to fill out time somehow because they've got a tour to do, and that's the only way they can conceivably do it.
Yeah. Or maybe they just don't even. Yeah. Maybe just shorten it, have less dates. But I guess the wrestlers want dates so they can make more money. But then it comes into the Young Bucks debate. And it's like, well, okay, can we make money by doing less? Start something. And that's the thing. Is like. I mean, sometimes you just gotta just shut up and just be a fan. Like, I say that, I think about that for myself. Like, I'm like, why do I care sometimes when I just shouldn't? Like, I should just. Why do I care? It's none of my business in a way. But
it is none of your business.
Here I am. But I care. I can't help but care. It's weird.
Why do you care? You shouldn't care so much about New Japan. It's only a fictional wrestling company that promotes a fake sport that doesn't actually mean anything to anyone.
That's right. I get like that sometimes where I just think, why do I care about anything at all? Why does any of it matter at all?
Think about Eric Cholomsky. Do you think his life has been enriched by following wrestling his whole life?
I think about that, eh? Is it really,
Eric Cholomsky, think about it, that's his whole life, is wearing that red hat and watching wrestling.
Yeah. That's the thing.
By the way, Eric Cholomsky, for those of you who don't know, is a well-known figure in the Western appreciation of Japanese pro wrestling.
And we've just insulted him massively. I spoke to him, actually. He's a nice guy. But...
Yeah, he seems okay. We saw him at TGF Fridays.
Yeah, that's right. Outside it, yeah.
Better than that guy in the beard who I always see, who went to Disneyland the same day we were.
That's right. He followed us around. 100%.
Whoever he is that has the exact same idea to spend a whole day as we do.
Tokyo Disney Sea, one of our bigger mistakes.
Are we gonna go to Disneyland this time?
Can we actually fit in the time? I don't even know. And then you know what? It's fucking $100. It's a bloody rip-off. Remember that? It cost like 100. Yeah, it's bullshit. Actually, no, it was like 7,800 yen, which is not that bad. Okay, but
now I'm gonna go there. I don't know. Are you trying to convince me to go there or not go there? What do you want?
So what do you want from me? You really hate the number 1, don't you? 100. Because I feel like you're the type of person that would be like, it's $98, and you'd be like, I'm going. And then I would say it's $101, and you go, I'm not going.
Yeah, true.
That actually reminds me. That reminds me. $3 is all it takes.
Yeah, $97 is far better than $100.
Yeah, far better.
It's cheaper.
By the way, the Differ Ariake or whatever that thing is sold out. By the way, so we're not going to that. But that's okay.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'd rather, one day, my dream. I tell you what, my dream is with wrestling, right? Is for it to be so popular that one day I can actually do a Kento Miyahara eccentric podcast on this channel with Angus, and people would actually listen to it, right? Right, like, so we could actually, like, talk about all Japan and stuff like that. So ultimately,
like a podcast where we only talk about Kento Miyahara. Is that?
That'd be alright. That'll be alright. But more so, I'm more talking about like.
I wish I watched more All Japan. To be perfectly honest with you,
I'll tell you the best one.
Disgrace for not watching.
No, you know what? All Japan is, has its ups and downs. I feel like the best promotion, people were saying it's promotion of the year, and obviously it's like very much like a very Eurocentric thing. But do you know what people think is the best actually this year? Noah. It's Noah. Noah has had Sugiura as champ is like one of the most like people were like, actually that's actually good. Like, you remember when he won? We were all pissed off because what the fuck's this old fuck doing with the title? Remember?
No, because Zeus lost it to him, right?
Was it Moose?
No, Zeus.
No, Zeus is from All Japan.
Not Zeus. Sorry, who lost it to him? Who lost it to Sugiura?
Oh, Keno.
No, Keno.
Yeah.
It was Keno.
Yeah.
Keno. What the fuck? Yeah, Keno lost.
Moose. Zeus.
Moose.
Yeah.
Moose should be champion. Yeah, Keno.
Yeah, we were all pissed off. But they've been putting on
Right.
What was that? Uh-oh. You there? By God, they've killed him. He's dead. Fuck, this challenge, I'll fucking quit. What's happened to the man? There you go, is he there? It's like he's half there, but not. Ooh.
I said Keno.
Keno?
Hello.
Hello, Keno.
Hello, CrystalFissure.
Yes, hello. Hello, everyone. CrystalFissure here.
Oh, there we go. You can hear me now. Okay,
Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah. You were saying Keno?
No, I just said Keno. He lost it to Keno. That was
Yeah.
like 5 minutes.
So Keno lost it, and oh shit! Wait, what do we got here?
I just stopped sharing my video.
That's alright. Let me just get the Jim's pro wrestling thing up here.
Hey, put that up. Put that in my video instead.
Yeah. Let me get it. Wait, how do I move? 1 sec. Just wait.
That's what I would call my professional wrestling company, by the way.
Jim's pro wrestling.
JPW.
JP Dub. There you go. Any Australian would definitely know about this. Okay, I'm gonna. So yeah, I would like, you do bring up a good point. We'll wrap this up shortly. You bring up a great point that New Japan does have to succeed. No, you're right, because it's even more important that it succeeds than TNA did, right? Because it's a truly international company, right? That has these working relationships with people, and is the only thing saving things like RPW and stuff like that because of WWE's disgusting, UK deals and all that shit.
Oh yeah.
And don't get me wrong, us complaining about New Japan. Actually, let's just break complete kayfabe at this point. What did you think of all those tweets, by the way? Actually, when I put them up,
They were brilliant. I loved your
fucking pissed.
You were on fire. I have to say, especially who'd you call a baby? You called someone a baby.
I called Lionheart a hack of shit. Yeah.
That's so great. Pete Dunne, you ranted at Pete Dunne. That was brilliant.
Yeah. What else? What about the guy? Actually, let's talk about that. Actually, let's just talk about that. Actually, stuff. Right. So tying in. So what I wanted to say is sort of the final last thing, because you can't have a podcast without us trashing WWE somehow. So obviously, we complain about New Japan and stuff like that, right? Ultimately, we still enjoy it as fans. We go every year, we have a good time, even though there's been a bit of a disconnect this year. What we think about, we just spent the last 2 hours talking about, right? Wrestle Kingdom, it should be a fantastic show, right? It's going to be good. Let's hope so. I
wouldn't talk about something I despise for 2 hours.
That's the exact problem, isn't it? Is that people do that with WWE. You get your solo monsters and everyone, JD from New York, and all these people that Al listens to and stuff like that. And it's like, fuck, man, who gives a shit if they're shit? They're shit, so who cares?
You chose to watch them. That's what I see.
Yeah, you chose to watch it, so it actually reflects on you if you're the one that doesn't like it.
To be honest, right? I got a guy. I keep bringing this my friend from work up.
Oh, this guy, yeah, fucking
Scott, his name is. Anyway, he still watches it and complains to me about it. To be honest, I wouldn't even know what to complain about in WWE these days. I don't know what the big problems are with it. I feel like my life is a lot more enriched because I don't know what the big problems are.
Yeah. Yep. Spot on.
I don't want to waste my time with things that I don't enjoy.
That's right. So we spend a lot of time talking about New Japan and stuff like that because we enjoy it at the end of the day. And like
I would say my enjoyment with New Japan is like 85-15%.
Yeah.
85 love it, 15% have problems with it.
Yeah, me too. Yep, I would say it's about.
That's a good amount.
Yeah, very similar for me. It's like, and the parts that I enjoy, I absolutely love, and like you'd never be able to replicate that in any other medium. When Kenny won the title, freaking out. Like.
Yeah, me too. I remember when like an even more obscure thing when Evil pinned Okada in the G1 Climax last year. I freaked out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Tomohiro Ishii versus Kenny at the G1 special in Long Beach last year. I had an experience watching that match, a religious experience.
Yeah.
So like you want me to talk? I can sit here all day talking about the good stuff New Japan's done, but I mean we'll save that until after they've done a show. Huh?
Right, spot on.
It's not topical yet to talk about that.
That's
We're talking about the concerns people have with New Japan.
So,
I'm saying write it out.
Yeah, write it out, and let's hope it's successful because it needs to be, because that ties into sort of the last thing, is that what's been going on in WWE with the UK, and this has directly affected us as paying ticketed purchasers, fans, or whatever, I don't know what the fuck that actually means, but we purchased tickets, front row tickets actually, our first ever front row major wrestling show ever, right? We've been front row at Wrestle Rampage, but there's only 2 rows, so I think were you front at Venom?
I've sat in front row of Venom before, and I've sat front row at Grindhouse as well.
Yeah, there you go. So,
if you want to call that front row,
we are front row in Korakuen Hall, as they say incorrectly. Which is probably my favorite venue ever to watch wrestling.
Yeah, my favorite venue too. It's the perfect wrestling.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, they should just have Wrestle Kingdom at Korakuen Hall, because it's just.
To be honest, if you've ever sat in Korakuen and then you've gone to sit in Tokyo Dome, you will realize very quickly why Korakuen Hall is so great.
Yeah, that's why. This is one of the main reasons I want to go to New Year's Dash. It's just because it's like I want to make sure that I'm actually comfortable. Right? And
I want to be able to actually witness wrestling rather than just
watch it on the screens, like I feel like I do. Yeah.
Well, we're sitting in Arena B, so it should be better this time.
Well, we'll be looking at about 48 rows of heads instead, but it should be.
What fools we were thinking 1F was better. Anyway.
Well, yeah. Maybe next time we try 2F, just a meme. Just a throwaway Wrestle Kingdom,
Throwaway wrestling. Anyway, go on. You have a problem with YouTube.
So we bought these tickets to a Fight Club Pro show, which is a English promotion ran by Trent Seven and a couple other people, I believe. And that was awesome. I've heard a lot of good things about Fight Club Pro. I've got some friends I know that are big fans of it and stuff like that. And so we thought, hey, they're coming to Korakuen Hall. Let's buy a ticket. So we get a ticket from myself, Angus, and our friend Naomichi, who you may recognize, probably don't, but may recognize as the voice of ISGP. The announcer of ISGP, basically, after like the next tournament. And so we got tickets. And so they were advertising the show where many people, including Pete Dunne, Trent Seven himself, Tyler Bate, these are guys from WWE, like who work for the WWE contracts sort of thing. Also on the show were guys like Jordan Devlin, Tyler Bate, as I said, and Travis Banks. Now, these guys were all on the show, and my theory is that they were all coming over just to go and see, Wrestle Kingdom, basically. I was like, that's probably what they're doing. They're probably just going to Wrestle Kingdom, they're probably doing a show. Anyway, this WWE thing changes where the contracts are somehow now different, right? These contracts have been changed. All of a sudden, these 5 top draws have been pulled from the show, despite us paying top dollar for front row tickets.
Top dollar?
Yeah,
yes.
Top dollar, top yen.
The very top of the dollar.
Yeah, not the bottom of the dollar, but the top.
No.
Top,
you couldn't get higher on the dollar if you tried.
That's right. So, what is this now? they claim that, you know, that I literally message these wrestlers. I mean, like, you know, on Twitter and stuff like that. They claim that, oh, it's all part of the plan. It's all part of the big thing. Did you see my tweet? Did you see the one I sent to Travis Banks? He actually got back to me. He got back to me, but I was pretty nice about it. I was like, you know, I paid tickets for this. Like, why would you do this? Like, how's this hurt? You know, how does this help? You know, how's this like help WWE by pulling you from these shows? Like, oh, it's all part of the bigger picture, man. It's like, okay.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff about WWE coming to. Who was it? Pete Dunne said, oh yeah, 10 years ago you couldn't make a living wrestling in the UK. Now thanks to the Fed, you can, or something.
Yeah, basically all these apologetic bullshit. And it's just like these people, like, you know, like WWE is coming in, like, and they are just absolutely, they are signing everyone, right? They literally, in the latest Observer, before Marco's stunt got injured, they were literally interested in Marco's stunt. Marco's stunt!
Yeah, I know, right? Who was he 2 months ago or 3 months ago?
Marco's stunt, literally a guy that is pretty cool. I mean, he does some awesome stuff. Was known from All In, but particularly in the beginning, a promotion called GCW, Joey Janela's
Game Changer
Game Changer Wrestling, New York Confidential or something like that. Right, he was on the show, he got over, and that was it. So, literally from these two shows, basically, these two indie shows, WWE now wants to sign this guy. Because, see, the problem is that what they want to do is they want to sign up absolutely everyone with a pulse. So, New Japan needs to be paying the guys more money. They need to be paying them a lot. They need to be booking them. You know, they need to be doing these tours and stuff like that. And just in general, wrestling in Japan and all around the world needs to continue to succeed. But there's the double-edged sword that if it continues to succeed, WWE has that fuck you money, I guess you could call it, where they can just sign anyone for more money, and it just prices everyone else out of the market. You know?
Yeah. And then everyone is a wrestles for WWE, and then it means nothing.
Right, so then everyone wrestles for them, and then WWE can actually drive the price down. So people say, oh, morally, WWE is actually so good. It's like, no. If one promotion runs everything, right, they can actually put the price down, because then they're going to be like, well, what are you going to do? Work for this defunct company or this defunct company?
Exactly.
That's the problem. I'm sure you've looked at that in markets, right? I mean, it's why certain companies it's why telecommunications, you know, can sort of get away with, you know, with the exorbitant. In general, Australia is a great example of just completely taking advantage of a market, because what else are we going to do on this island, right?
Yeah, exactly. And the thing with if WWE does become a monopoly, right? Monopolies are allowed to set their prices at whatever the fuck they choose. That gives them what they call a supernormal profit.
Yeah,
that's the term they use. So it's good for the consumer, because as consumers we can, you know, it's relatively accessible and cheaper and whatever you want to call it, because you know they have no competition, right? But I mean they have no competition if you were listening to Chris Jericho at the moment anyway. So anyway, and the thing with that is, right, instead of it being cheaper, the alternative is their product is worse, because it's more of like a artistic thing, right? It's like if they're the only thing around, then they can book whatever the fuck shitty shit they want to book.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, and you can complain about it, but at the end of the day,
what are you gonna do about it?
It doesn't matter.
Where are you gonna go?
Where are you gonna go?
Yeah,
you have nowhere to go.
Right.
Exactly. So that's sort of the problem with if they become a monopoly, where it's crippling for competitors too, because what they can't run shows because they'll have no guys to run the shows with, or no guys worth a damn, because as we'll see, WWE will have signed up everyone. So who's going to go? Like the worst will be left in the indies, basically.
Yeah, see, everyone like there's like an entirely, like, you know, have you noticed that whole thing? It's like, oh, the indies will recover. They've always recovered. What happened to the territories again? Why was there no indie wrestling in the 90s, basically?
Yeah, there's not a never-ending slew of guys from the indies, right?
Yeah, this never-ending group that somehow disappeared for 20 years, basically.
On your squared circle, you only hear about the guys that, like, are the best of the best. There's 100,000 million independent wrestlers who are just mediocre and average that you've never, ever heard of.
Yeah, including most people in the Brisbane scene.
Most people in the Brisbane scene. I haven't even heard of them, and I've watched them, and I can't even remember who they were.
You know, wrestling is in an okay spot now in terms of like being a fan, right? It's only gonna. Yeah. You think it's gonna get better from here? It will only get worse if one company runs them all, because like you got Ricochet as like your mid card, developmental champion. We know that's what he deserves because fuck that guy, he's got a shit attitude, and I don't like him anyway anymore. And I'm glad.
Like, who's gonna care about the mid-card champion in NXT UK?
Who is?
I don't know if they have one, but like, who cares? Who is it? Who's the NXT mid-card? Who's the NXT Tag Team Champion? Who cares? What does it mean? What does it mean if every single man worth a goddamn dollar is working for WWE? What does it mean? Well, as Syndrome says, if everybody's super, then nobody is.
That's right. And you know what? Like, and that goes for New Japan as well. Like, that's why, like, you know, people were a bit worried about the Shingo sign. Like, oh no, are they going to be taking over? And I'm the same with New Japan. I don't want New Japan to have everyone. Absolutely not. Is it easier for me as a consumer? Kind of, yeah. Because then I can say, well, I don't have to watch Shuji Ishikawa anywhere else, or I don't have to watch like Takeshita or something like that, or you know, whoever the fuck can I. And you know, I agree. Like to an extent, it's like, oh yeah, no, it'd be fucking awesome if I could watch. It'd be fucking awesome if I could watch them, you know, in New Japan. But also, you need to understand that, like, yeah, New Japan just being on top of the monopoly is also a bad thing. It's like we just need many options to be around, basically. That's
Did we learn nothing from Tiger Mask of W, the anime?
Oh, the Global Wrestling Monopoly.
Monopoly, yeah.
Gee, everything. Yeah.
So I don't know. Do you want to summarize your thoughts here?
My thoughts are, I like New Japan. It's good. I like Wrestle Kingdom. I'm looking forward to Wrestle Kingdom. There's a reason why we have spent collectively. We're getting close to 5 figures now spent on going to Japan and like.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's getting up there.
Yeah. And we get given fuck all in terms of like action. Like, you know, everyone constantly is like, oh, but the Western expansion. I'm like, yeah, well, actually try being a Westerner that actually goes to the shows. Have you noticed?
Yeah,
that?
try being a Westerner who doesn't get them coming to your hometown. Also, by the way, no, it doesn't look like we're going to get another New Japan tour in Australia this year.
What happened?
At least not. Well, because they're going to America when they were meant to be coming to.
In February 20, is it at that gap now? Is it?
That gap is they're going to during the time that they would normally be going to here. They're going to.
Oh no! It's like what, February 13, 14, 15 and stuff.
Oh no, not then. But I don't know what. Maybe
oh no, that gap is still there. 11th to the 22nd is taken.
They might be coming.
Yeah, in fact. I mean, I don't know if we probably might get. I mean, hopefully no one's watching this that has any relevance. But I mean, my subscribers, you're all relevant. But I have it on good authority that there will be an Australian tour next year. Although in February. Pretty good sign. Yeah.
So you think they'll go if they've got enough in there?
I don't think they'll go to Adelaide again unless they book a smaller venue, but I think they'll go.
Yeah. Well, I'm just thinking like it's not cheap to run.
Well, no, you know. But the problem is, I mean, I can't really talk about this because there's some stuff that we both know that's kind of hush a bit. But the thing about the New Japan like tours is in Australia and stuff like that is that it's kind of
well, they don't spend
the people that run it are not necessarily good with money, and I'm not just talking about the production companies here.
Yeah, sure, but I mean, yeah, maybe they'll come to Australia again. I hope they do.
Me too, but at those prices though, it's like, fuck, it's hard to commit, isn't it? Like, you know.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm like, I mean, I haven't heard anything, so I mean, like, they didn't announce. When did they announce the Australia tour last year?
While we're in America.
Yeah, so it was January, so it wasn't even a month before. So, I mean, maybe we'll hear something in, like, the next...
I guess I understand why they can't announce it now, but, I mean, they probably should for pre-sale tickets, but, like, I don't know.
I mean, I guess Australia's not a huge market for it, but, I mean, like... why not? Why not Australia?
Yeah.
Why are we always left behind by everyone else?
We are.
We're Western too, you know. We're white, English-speaking Westerners. Why can't we have some of the New Japan?
Like, even the UK, like, the UK scene is so bustling. Well, for now. You know, it's like Australia, like, you know, if you are on the fence about going to an indie show, honestly, I would say do it. No, anyone.
Hey, I'd go to an indie show if I hadn't been burned by all my fucking independent promotions here.
See, I'm lucky I've Wrestle Rampage is still around. I mean, we've just lost Jonah Rock. Like, WB are actively targeting Australia. I'll point that out, right? Like, that is 100% happening, and that's terrifying to me. You know?
At least we still have Caveman Og and Spaceman Daisy too. We got him.
Spaceman Daisy.
Good we get Spaceman Daisy. Anyway, we should wrap this up because I have to iron a shirt and go to bed.
Yeah, I'm fucked as well. I'm absolutely fucked up. All right, guys. Thank you for watching.
Oh, quickly, my thoughts on Crash Team Racing.
Oh yeah, Crash Team Racing. Yes.
I like it. I can't wait for it to come out. And I think that you'll get to play in different cars because I noticed that the car changed a little bit.
Have you not watched the trailer?
I watched the trailer. His car changed into a Crash Nitro Kart cart. Did you not see that?
I thought you were just quoting me before the stream. Jesus.
I saw it happen in the trailer. His car turned into a Crash Nitro Kart cart.
Wow.
Also, there looks like there's like a level from another game, new tracks.
It's not. It's Dingo Canyon, but like modern.
It looks new.
It's Dingo Canyon. It's Dingo Canyon. It's like a dingo dolphin. It is. I promise.
But they put the diners and everything.
Yeah. It's what Dingo Canyon was based off of, kind of, basically.
It's a new track.
But yeah, I think there's going to be some new tracks as well. Make sure
Andrew, I think it'll be the greatest game of all time.
It was a great game. Shout out to you know who.
Shout out to Bougie. What if you said?
Shout out to Boosie.
Boosie.
You're literally thinking about the "a fuck cancer" thing, right? Yeah, "a fuck cancer."
Yeah.
Shout out to Boosie. Yeah, that's right. Good stuff. Right, good stuff. All right, well, we'll be back after Wrestle Kingdom. Probably live from Japan. We'll try and I might buy that Easy Cap thing. That's like allows you to. It's like an Elgato thing that allows you to live stream your camera.
Oh, good. Yeah, we should.
We should get that because
we should book now.
Yeah, we should book now. All right, thank you guys.
We'll try to do like a broadcast from
Japan
where we talk about.
Yeah, we can just annoy our roommates at like 12 p.m. or hanging around.
Yeah, we'll come home drunk from being at I don't know.
Yes, Tonga coffee. Yes, I'm so excited.
Tonga coffee. Oh yeah, we'll go to Tonga coffee again. And watch that strange lady on her bike almost collapse.
Oh my damn, yeah. I wish we filmed that. Alright, thank you guys for watching. See you later.
Alright, take care, spike your hair.